I know he has Kobe 11 and Steph 12, something like that.
He's a capologist, bro. It's like some things he says is nice, but like some things I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
I
You
mean,
guys will
that
never,
goes for a lot of people.
you guys will never know who we're talking about. Remember that. You guys won't. Oh shit, let's drop the StreamYard link now. That way we can get people, the masses ready in the chat. How
Before
you
they
doing?
even know what the topics are. That's fire.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. We're gonna get them ready. You feel me? 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Welcome, guys. I wasn't crying today. I know my eyes look wild. I just woke up from a nap, and it is what it is. How you feeling today, Mars?
I'm good. Didn't just wake up. I've been up for a very long time. Well, I'm not going to sleep after this, but it is 9 p.m., so most people would sleep after this. But for me, basketball never sleeps.
Basketball never sleeps. Nah, you don't sleep though. You just don't sleep. You're insane. I hope you know that.
Um, I think I'm pretty sane, pretty normal.
Nah, bro. I'll be calling you at the most weirdest of times. What time did you go to bed last night? Like 5?
Um, yeah, something like that. 5, 6.
Yeah, you're insane, son. Yeah, the new Drake drop. It was actually I listened to a few of it. I liked it. I liked it. I like Drake today. Tomorrow I might not like him. I got a love-hate relationship with him. He's a weirdo sometimes. I like Drake though. Today was Drake.
I'm not a music guy, so I don't wait for drops. I might listen to Drake sometimes soon.
Guapo Guapo asks, he said, "Who's your favorite drill rapper? Do you have a favorite drill rapper?"
I hate drill music. It's UK drill I hate. Um, I guess I guess there's a thing called New York drill. I don't know the genre. I just enjoy listening to music, and most of the people I listen to are from New York. So
Oh,
there's that.
nice. You're a New York guy. Look at you.
Sure. I mean, I don't know the origins of people. I just say who I listen to, and then everyone's like, "Oh, that's a New York guy." And it turns out everyone
Mm,
I listen to is from New York. So
a man of taste. I love it. I love to see it. Super chat from Jamal Williams. Free Kyrie, free KD. Not really free KD, maybe free Kyrie. I mean, it is what it is. I don't want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets today, though. I am so tired of talking about them. Uh, so tired of us talking about the Lakers. This topic of today is the tapering off of evolution. Uh, Mars, you asked me where we're headed. Do you have an idea where I'm headed with this?
somewhere to the effect of the idea that players back then could play today is fraudulent. That's where I believe you're going.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, thank God.
So what I'm saying is, and for you, all you guys waiting in the waiting room, just I want you guys to hear what we're talking about first before I let you guys in. Please have your cameras ready, have your takes ready. We're gonna get right into this. Um, what I'm talking about in regards to evolution tapering off, and we actually talked about this briefly on the show maybe last month or a couple months ago, is Chilltown said on the panel, he said that Kobe Bryant they would start referring to his guys and who he went up against as plumbers. You feel me? And I'm like, I see where in 2040, and I'm sitting here like I can see where that's happening due to kids being ignorant and everything like that. But I kind of disagree because we have to look at the jump in basketball for the last 20 years. So from 1980 and 2000, I would sit here and say that there was a dramatic increase of skill set, a dramatic increase of talent in the NBA that happened in those in that 20-year gap. The 1980 talent pool was way different from the 2000s talent pool. You got perimeter players who was expanding their game, becoming developing dribble variations, shooting touches, and everything like that. Just the league as a whole was being more complete. A lot of post players at that time as well, and there was such a crazy increase in the talent pool. Then, when I compare from 2000 to the year 2022, the way I'm looking at it is there is an increase, but it's not as dramatic. So the 1980 jump from the jump from 1980 to the year 2000s, it wasn't a crazy ass jump in the talent pool from what was from the 2000s and 2020, because I believe that, in my opinion, evolution is in some way, shape, or form just tapering off. I think there's only so many moves that you can develop, so many dribble variations that you can have, that now basketball is like, what more can I fucking do? What more can I develop? It's almost like baseball. They develop fastball, splitters, curveball, sliders. Then it's to the point where we just can't develop anything more than this. So now I think the next step of basketball is probably like Victor Wembanyama's, Kevin Durant's. More of that will be prevalent in the league. But now, but when it terms of when we're talking about the skill set of the NBA players as a whole, I don't see that dramatically increasing, and that's why I don't think that they'll be saying here like, oh yeah, these guys was going up against plumbers, and things of that nature. You feel what I'm talking about, Mars?
I understand what you're saying. I think there's a few things that are being left out of that, but I understand the premise completely.
What's being left out?
I think you discount the impact that rule changes have on the evolution of the game. I obviously the skill level has increased. The skill level increases faster when the rules change and you have to adapt to that. Like for example, if the league added a 4 point line, do I think the game's going to evolve at a faster rate? Yes, because you have to evolve to be able to make that 4 point shot consistently.
Hmm.
And that doesn't mean like guys like Steph Curry and Dame, they can shoot from where a 4 point line would be already, but it's not
Hmm.
worth 4 points. So even though they're doing it, players in the future, if they do it, they're getting an extra point. So guys like Jerry West, Pete Maravich, they shot from distance back in the day, but there was no 3 point line.
Hmm.
So the difference in the evolution isn't about what you can do, it's how what you do and what it's worth and what it will mean in the game you're playing. And for example, a lot of dribbling variations and stuff you talk about, that comes from a lot of the fact that when the NBA started, the rules of dribbling were so different. You couldn't do a lot of things that you're allowed to do now. The freedom to move the ball as much as you wanted to, you didn't have that license. So, do I think guys in the 70s could have learned to dribble like players today if they had the same license to put the ball in their hands how they wanted to? Maybe, I don't know. So, I think the rules actually dictate how the game goes more than the players in the league at the time, if that makes sense.
So let me, because I didn't even bring up the 70s for some of that reasons, but in the 80s, especially, that started dribbling with basketball started to be more open and it started to be less restricting with that, right?
That's when it
So
started, yeah.
so that's why I'm saying where I could agree with you to an extent where the rules did have a hand in that, in making it harder for guys to really dribble and get off. But I have to judge it based off of that as well. You feel me? So those guys wasn't good because of the rules, which is fine, but they wasn't developed at all. It's not so at the end of the day, no matter what, they wasn't developed at all. And now, after years of these guys developing, after years of these guys honing in their skills, having the freedom to dribble, now I think it is reaching to a point where there's damn near so many dribble moves that you can make. So that's why I'm saying 20 years from now, I don't really see the same thing happening to our generation. I could be wrong, it's just an opinion. But I don't see the same thing happening in our generation because of that. Because these guys became so polished in their craft. Because yes, they did have the freedom and the rules to say help them develop their games and not be caught for no bullshit. But I still think that that just makes them overall better. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with it for the most part. I just think, like I said, I just think like in the future, I think the only way the game really takes a jump is through rule changes. I don't think there's a way if the current rules that the game is gonna like in 20 years, if the game stays the exact same in the rule set, I don't think we're gonna start seeing players who are 2 times as good as LeBron James. I don't think that's possible with the current rule set. I think we're peaking with how good players can become in terms of a skill set. But the rules changing will change that, in my opinion.
4 point line, Mike. Let's get some people in here. What's good, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Doing good, doing good. How
Good,
about you?
guess chilling, bro. Super chat for Alejandro Rodriguez. What is more valuable in today's game, twos or threes? Uh, Probably threes.
I'll say a
Three.
three because twos. I mean, back in like the 2000s and the 90s, that would be perfect. But from now, or really 2000s to 2010s, but where we're going into this new era of basketball, you need like a forward that can guard the perimeter, guard the what's it called, the paint, but also be able to shoot the ball and stuff like that. I feel like
If you're
guard
talking
play
about
isn't that.
position,
I would say twos because getting to the paint and getting the defense to collapse opens up the 3-point line to begin with for you to hit threes. So I think that's more valuable because
I just think the game is going to a point where forwards are going to be a thing.
Is he talking about making 2-point shots or like the position?
2-point shots. 2-point shots. So
okay.
two like layups
I mean,
or
if
mid-range
it's
or whatever
if it's the
versus
position,
the
I
3-point shot.
don't. It wouldn't make sense for the position because twos and threes in today's game are very interchangeable. Like they're pretty much just considered wings. So
I don't think so. I think a shooting guard is pretty specific. Are generally smaller than threes, but that's.
But twos at the same time could be playing the forward position, so it's like they're interchangeable at this point in the NBA. They're just interchangeable.
yeah, I think a lot of twos in the league today are more wing type players that can play the three. There are a couple of twos that can play that like are combo guards or specifically shooting guards, but I think a majority of twos in the league today can also play three, and are more just like wing players.
Like to me, Devin Booker can never play really a three effectively for long stretches.
It's because he can't play defense like that. If his defense was just like mid, then he could, but his defense just isn't at that point at all. He could get there eventually, but for right now in his game, it's just not there.
Yeah, it's like the size and just I don't know how he plays. He's a very primary scorer, but Dub, to go to your point about evolution, I think one thing that we don't talk about is because this is primarily why I think soccer, football, Mars. So don't hit me. Is the best sport because it's been the most resistant to change throughout eras, from rule changes, skill, steroids. When you talk about baseball, juice balls, baseball is completely fucked in terms of comparing eras, and just the overall rule set. It hasn't really changed, and the fundamental core of the game has stayed the same throughout decades. Whereas in basketball, the defensive rules, the 3-point line, the fact that you couldn't dunk before, I mean, it changes completely how you grow up and want to develop your game as a kid over time, and then just how they play at the professional level. So I also think there's been a lot lost in basketball IQ as well. Like the amount of fast breaks I see run incorrectly is incredible. I'm like, dudes just don't pass to the trailing guy. I'm like, dude, the guy is right there. Just drop it off to him. You got a 3-on-1 fast break. And I don't know. I think a lot has been lost in basketball IQ, but it's been gained in individual skill.
I could see that point. I mean, I think a lot of, like that goes to like the flow of the team. Well, what's it called? My bad. Bear with me, bro. I just fucking woke up. But I just think that just the overall talent pool from 40 years ago was such a crazy ass increase, and maybe they did play smarter basketball, as in play through your stars and not do no bullshit. But I just think that the talent pool in general is just at a crazy and dramatic rate, and I don't see that really increasing like that from to the year 2000s and 2040. I don't see guys in 2040 researching the game, looking at all this video footage of these guys playing basketball like a Kobe, Michael Redd, Stephon Marbury, and being like, these guys are plumbers, or these guys are ass, or these guys just isn't that.
They won't.
Kobe eventually. Kobe, they might. But
nah, bro.
They might. I think in 2040 they might think that Kobe's like overrated.
You know,
like
why?
They're gonna say like he played against plumbers and janitors.
You know why? Because this goes to my and this also goes to my soccer, because I see the same thing that really pisses me off about strikers today in soccer. I'll give you a perfect example. Strikers may score more goals today in soccer, but in terms of the ability to strike, when I consider a striker, I don't see many true number 9s. Like, as great as Haaland is, I've never seen this dude operate with his back to the goal. And that's a key striker, like, attribute you need to have.
Like, evolution in the sense that the archetype is changing.
But there's also skills that are lost that would make the strikers of the current era more dangerous too. For instance, Anthony Davis. People will say Anthony Davis is very skilled. Anthony Davis' post moves around all around the basket, although he has a higher talent ceiling than like Patrick Ewing or some of these 90 centers, is very mid. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to throw AD the ball in the post. He just does a mini sky hook to get to score every time. The amount of times I've seen him 5 or 6 feet away from the basket and he can't even execute that is astonishing. You know why? Because in this era, it's not emphasized.
Yeah, I agree. I think post scoring is definitely something that's kind of been lost amongst big men in the evolution of basketball. And going into the future, I think that's just gonna like be emphasized. Like we're gonna see less post scoring and more face up bigs, more centers stretching out to the 3-point line. I think in the future the league might move towards bigger guards as well, and small guards will be like less prominent because you have guys like LaMelo Ball and like moving more towards like 6'5", 6'6" point guards. So those are things that in the future could change, where people look back and they see point guards like Chris Paul and other like 6'1" guys, and they're like, yeah, those guys really ain't shit.
My question to y'all though, just because they're better in the post, which is a fact, don't you think in the overall scheme of basketball, having a big playing on the perimeter is better?
No, because bigs
It does.
still can't shoot threes that well. Like, go get your butt. Like, how many times are we going to see just like Houston? I'll give you a perfect example. If Houston doesn't take 27 straight 3-point shots, Mars, you think they win that game? Like, you think if they just, let's say 10 of those shots were like twos or drive to the hole.
Wait. What does that have to do with the players? What does that have to do with
What
being
I'm
better as
saying is,
players?
what I'm saying is we have big men that can shoot the three, but they're not great at it. Like, yeah, 80 could shoot the three, but he wasn't great at it. Maybe he was more dominant in the interior. He wouldn't need to shoot the three as much. Same thing with Embiid. Same thing with guys like.
Well, AD's game isn't predicated on the three. AD's game is predicated on him facing up, mid ranges, him getting to the basket and things like that. And it doesn't have a dominant post game, but he's pretty good at it. So like he's not living on the three. It's just him being able to play on the perimeter, dominate a mismatch, get by a bigger guy, playing like a guard. I think that adds more value to the game, in my opinion.
I
does.
don't personally, because AD's outside shot, first of all, is completely gone. Like,
I mean, I think perimeter oriented bigs definitely help, but I do think that like as a big man, I feel like you should have like a post game that you can go to. AD's not a terrible post player, so like I don't like using him as an example, but it's like you like being able to space the floor is important, but if you can't like get your buckets in the post against other bigs and get like easy twos because of your post game, I think that would be more effective in the grand scheme of things. Because that would also help with playmaking. Because if you're a dominant post presence, then defenses have to collapse, and it opens up more threes for the players that should be on the perimeter more often.
Dub, let me ask you a question.
So
we have a lot of elite bigs in the league. Who's the elite big that's won a ring recently?
I don't think any has.
Well, Giannis is a big.
Giannis.
But,
If you count Giannis as like a big.
My bad. I guess
AD in 2020 with the Lakers. If you're not,
but Giannis don't really like. I mean, yeah, Giannis is big, but I'm thinking of centers.
The only traditional big we have is Embiid, and maybe Embiid.
And he shoots threes.
What about Rudy?
I guess to my point is Giannis is the one who's probably has the least shooting ability.
I mean, we're talking about post scoring. Like,
yeah.
I'm just saying. I only said Rudy because of the fact that he's a traditional big, as in he can only like inside the paint. That's the only. That's why I'm saying. That's why I said Rudy.
I just know what I'm going to get from Giannis because he's so dominant inside the paint. I really like his outside shooting. As long as he can keep the defense honest enough to where they have to come out, fine. Because you have to adapt to today's NBA's 3-point shooting. But I'd rather a Giannis dominant or Shaq dominant inside, who I know I'm going to get like 30 and 15, and it's hard to stop, than like an AD who's kind of good on the perimeter and kind of good on the inside. Kind of a jack of all trades shooting, throughout the whole floor as a big.
I mean, AD still has like a dominant presence inside. It's just not back to the basket.
Right.
So like when he wants to get aggressive and wants to attack the basket, like he can dominate. It's just, are you going to get the aggressive AD, or are you going to get the passive AD who's settling for jump shots?
Which is very inconsistent
in the basket.
I hate
It's
when
inconsistent.
I think right now I think we're kind of holding AD under a microscope because there's an adjustment period between him, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook. They're gonna be fine. AD can't be that guy to just keep attacking the basket, especially playing with LeBron James and Russ, because
Well,
it
yeah,
just could
that's
mess up the flow of the team. So we're talking about AD back in the Pelicans and even that first year on the Lakers. I mean, he was being aggressive. He knew his role and he was dominating. He was doing his thing. So I mean, it's just kind of unfair to say, oh, he's inconsistent when he's trying to figure out his role on a team that is not really a lot of 3-point shooting.
inconsistency aside, W, you have to agree his jump shot has been broke for like a year plus now.
I don't think it's like as broke as before. I just think that with him having to shoot more, I mean, it's just gonna make him a
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah,
a
with
worse,
Russ on the team, you're going to have
Yeah.
to shoot the ball a lot more.
Yeah,
Especially when you have no 3-point shooting on the Lakers. So he's going to have to shoot the ball way more.
Fair. I still think it could be better. I think it's dropped off. I mean, he was 20. It's been bad. But.
it is
Yeah,
harder. It
last
is
year-
harder
last
for him
year
to
was
get to
bad.
the paint.
Yeah,
It's a
last
lot
year was
harder.
bad.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
still not good. But
That's what I'm saying. Mars is staying quiet. I'm like, say something. You say it's
yeah,
terrible.
he's never been a great shooter. He had that bubble run where he just was looking like Kevin Durant with a defense. That was just an outlier, and everyone
That was
thought
crazy.
that's who he was. He everything else shows that how he's shot mainly this year. Last year was an outlier in the wrong way, but he's never been a great shooter. He's been like a solid to good mid-range shooter, and he's been a passable 3-point shooter. That's who AD's been his whole career. He's never been a great shooter. Like
Right.
the 2020 year seemed to have skewed people's judgment on how good he was shooting the ball, and I think that's just holding him to an unfair expectation, in my opinion.
I
I
agree.
agree. I think AD's always been like Mars said, a good mid-range shooter, a good 3-point shooter, but nothing too crazy.
Would you prefer a 4-point line or a 4-point spot?
I don't want a
Neither.
4-point line.
I don't want
Neither.
I don't want any of that.
That's
Yeah,
just going to ruin the game.
I don't want no
because everyone's just
I
going to
don't
be
want no
shooting
2
from
years
the
ago,
4-point
you said
line.
they didn't want a 3-point line. That's how you guys sound. The exact same.
Nah,
They didn't want a
Oh,
3-point
well.
line.
It would be ridiculous, Mars.
And
'cause
they
we're
said
gonna
people are
build-
just gonna settle for threes. It's gonna get rid of the traditional big.
Everybody's going to settle for a
four.
4
Well,
point
I
line.
don't-
Everyone's going to settle.
Dudes
You guys
taking
just sound like
half-court
how people
shots
sounded
every
4
3
years.
possessions. It's gonna look crazy, bro.
The center's going to be gone at that point. You're going to see Victor Wembanyama
Yeah.
just shooting from the 4-point line. And it's
And
like,
that's the
nothing you can
way
do.
that the league is evolutionizing. It's not based on the talent, but it's based on how it's played. So that's why I kind of agree with Mars. It's like if you think about in the 80s, dominant bigs, and to stop Jordan, you needed bigs to basically stop him. Now it's all about the big wing to be able to contain 1, 2, 3. So with Victor coming in, maybe Victor is going to change it in the sense that we need bigger wings, but probably dudes that are like 6'10" that could guard him.
Yeah, that's
So
like
I
a
think
genetic evolution, though. That's not, you know what I'm saying?
How is that not evolution if that's the style of play?
no, he said
No,
genetic. He said
No, it's
genetic
evolution, but it's more like I see Victor Wembanyama like because it's not like for me, Steph is an evolution in the game. Like you broke the game for real by your skill set. Wembanyama is gonna break the game. Not, of course, he's very skilled. It's the skill set at that size is crazy. So
Yeah, but wouldn't that evolutionize the league to having bigger people in the league? So the average height is not 6'7", maybe it's 6'9" now.
I mean, they already
able to
have
contain
big
him.
people in the league.
No, but
right
to contain him with someone who has the foot speed to keep up with him as a 7'4", kind of like a wing. He's like
and
a
I
7'4" wing.
yeah, and that's what I opened up with that in first part. I did say that the next evolution of basketball is the genetic aspect. The Victor Wembanyama's, guys being able to be 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", and more guys being able to play on the perimeter in that height. What I was talking in terms of the evolution of basketball was more in the late in terms of the skill set of everything, the
Their
skill set of
handles.
basketball, the dribble variations, the move sets, the talents, the shooting touch, things of that nature. I
Yeah.
think that evolution in that aspect is tapering off, and that's why I don't see such a dramatic increase where guys in 2040 is going to look at the years 2000s when there's so much tape on the years 2000s, watch and be like, you know what, these guys are fucking plumbers.
Like that 2016 Steph Curry year, I can't even imagine a better shooter, honestly, than some of these Steph Curry years. So it's like the crossover to the step is just.
I mean, listen. I mean, we could stream a 80s game right now on YouTube, and we could look at the difference from 1980 and the year fucking 2000.
That's not fair though,
It's
Dub. There's
nasty.
technology.
It's
That's
nasty.
nasty as fuck.
That's disgusting.
How
man.
is
But
it
even
nasty?
like the Bob Cousy argument, right? Like you couldn't put your hand on the side of the
Cousy.
ball. You feel
I
me?
don't care. What's ass is ass.
Nah, stop.
What's ass
So,
is ass. I
true,
can't
bro.
help it.
We'll get,
Doing
bro. You know, KD would get Jordan Poole travels every play.
He's getting called for it now. So
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Listen,
like the
people
double,
are-
like the
Listen,
double
why y'all
step.
Hey, you got a
mad at
Warriors
me?
fan in
Why
here.
y'all
Don't say
mad
that.
at me though? Why y'all mad at me though?
No,
What's
I'm not mad.
ass is ass is ass.
Nah,
I
you can't
understand.
be
Hey,
calling
hey,
I
Dub, I'm
understand
with you, bro.
context.
So
Facts.
Pele's ass.
I'm with you, Dub.
No,
Facts.
I'm sorry.
agree.
I'm
Get
sorry.
that Bob
I
Cousy shit out of here,
understand.
bro.
Yeah, I understand the context of
disrespectful.
I understand the context
Yeah,
of the
it's
rules.
honest.
I understand it wholeheartedly. But when we
Mars
watch
don't
that,
care.
when we watch that shit's nasty, bro. It's
Disgusting.
nasty.
Watching Bob Cousy only going
People
right
in the
is crazy.
comments are
Didn't have
saying
a
that
left
we're
hand.
talking about unicorns, but in sports, the unicorns create the rules. In
I
sports,
A KD.
yes, you have to game plan for someone like Katie. You have to game plan for someone like Steph. So they create the rules. So my comment about Jordan, to be able to stop Jordan in the 80s, they had to put bigs in the paint to take him down. That's why I brought up Jordan with that.
That was gonna
Someone in
be
the comments said
that was
something
gonna
about
be my
bigs.
next question.
Yes,
because-
unicorns make the rules in sports because you have to contain the unicorn so they're
Trying
not
to
just
think of
super
unicorns
dominant.
in other sports that
Like a Giannis.
rules.
Giannis is a unicorn.
like
Yeah.
He
that.
can't shoot,
Like,
but he's
in
like
soccer,
that.
to be able to contain these fast wingers, a lot of the CBs have foot speed now. Like they're just these.
And you know what's funny about that? Now they can't defend. Trent.
Oh Jesus Christ!
These soccer references are crazy.
Yeah, I'm hearing more here than I do on the actual football.
No,
shows.
yes,
Yeah.
the CB has changed in
Yeah,
soccer.
sorry.
My thing is,
Football
I
keep
still
bringing up
think-
soccer, and I'm getting
I
confused. I'm
I
not
still
gonna lie.
think
Exactly.
It's kind of for Mars. It's kind of for
strategies
Mars.
from the prior generations can work. I think basketball is such an open format game, provided there's not a rule change and everyone doesn't become like 6'10" automatically. I think there's, depending on how you want to build your team, you can make it work.
I think the game. I think it's a cycle. I don't think the game changes too much. And what I mean by that is, we're going to a game now where it's switchable. Everyone should be able to switch 1 through 4, 1 through 5, ideally. And that's how you get players, the small guards like a Trae Young. He goes up against Miami and they can switch everything, and he struggles because he's so small. He can't create advantages. I think the longer we do that, and then the league starts evolving to where every team has 4 guys who can switch everything, we're going to find that one player who comes into a draft class who is so dominant, physically imposing, that he's going to force the league to have to bring back the traditional big man, because post defense is going to get lessons because less people are going to have to learn it because everyone's on the perimeter. Then you're going to have that one dominant presence like a Shaquille O'Neal who's going to come into the league, be so dominant down low that the need for post plays is going to come back. Supply and demand, basically. You need to find someone who can stop this dominant post player, which is then going to make the big man feel like he's more necessary to the game of basketball at that time. But then when there's that many bigs on the court because they all came in to try to stop this guy, then the small guys are going to come back because they're so much quicker that the big guy becomes useless, and it just goes and goes and goes, keep going like that. Because you can't have everyone switching everything when there's a 7'2" guy who's 280 pounds and who can dominate you in the post. Then you need the bigs. But then when the bigs are there, the small guys can thrive because they're not fast enough outside. And then that's how when the small guys are dominating, you need the switchable players, and then you just keep going like that for the next 250 years.
And that's why I want to see the Bucks Warriors matchup, because that's why so many people have even though they Steph Curry, people would have Steph Curry over Giannis all time currently, and how dominant the Warriors have been in their dynasty. The fact that Giannis is that dominant inside and the Warriors really don't have an answer for him would be very interesting to see throughout a 7-game series. But I don't know if we'll ever see it.
But they have the wings to be.
It's going to happen this year. Don't worry.
I can't talk about the Warriors right now.
I like what you said, Mars. But I need to ask the question: when we talk about the skill set of these NBA players, because everyone just keeps talking about evolution, this guy, tall guy, da 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 da. talking about the way that these guys dribble these fucking basketballs, the
So
way that they
only
fucking
handles,
dribble.
only handles.
the
That's all
skill-
you're
Remember,
talking about.
skill is just dribble variation and shot
Right.
creation. That's
Right. The most
Oh, yeah,
And
that's
splash.
true.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
that is
bro,
true.
hey,
and splash.
listen.
I'm
This is
sorry.
what I mean
I'm
by
sorry.
skill
I'm
and
sorry.
QB loss, right?
I'm sorry.
So listen,
I'm
so the Nets have
sorry.
Passing isn't a skill.
the
Passing isn't
Nets
a
have the
skill.
two most skilled
Passing
guards
not being
of
a skill
all time.
is crazy.
What the fuck?
The Nets have the two
Oh
most
my
skilled
God.
players of all time, right? And none of them know how to pass out of a double team for 4 games.
They got swept.
We're still
Like
bringing
KD
that
literally
up.
doesn't know how to pass out, but doesn't know because a lot of people always think skill is what you see. Like the number one thing in sports, and especially for football, soccer, for the people who are listening, is
okay.
decision making. Decision making, not whether you can hit the ball with the outside foot, ping a ball 50 yards. It's where you go and when you go. And a lot of times, people with high skill level don't understand the nuances of the game that I think the pass does more. And so that's why I see more low IQ plays than I've ever seen when watching the NBA, in my opinion.
Can we have this conversation about skill?
Jesus Christ.
Let's do it, Dub. Let's do it. Let's
Dub,
do
no
it.
one's going to agree with you.
It's just I
Just so
don't
you know.
care if anyone agrees with me. I just want to have this conversation. It annoys me
man.
because it's like it just annoys me. Like this whole skill set shit just annoys me, bro. Because when I'm looking at skill set in any sport, it's mainly all the aspects of the field that you can do without relying on your athleticism, you know?
Mhm.
And then when you say things like passing, I actually like passing could be classified as a skill, which is nice.
Should
But
be.
in my opinion, that's
Should
more to how smart of a basketball player you
Which
are.
is a skill.
Well, what
But
about
then-
like
you can
but
be
then-
the
what
smartest
about the
basketball player and
variation
just
of
not be able
passes
to
you?
throw
Like, for
people
instance,
out
Kobe,
there?
right? Kobe was like, oh, he's one of the smartest people. But if he never makes that pass, then what does it mean being smart? If you never
All
apply
right.
it.
Well, I don't
He
think
did
Dub
he
is
did apply it.
All right,
factoring like
Dub.
I don't
Dub,
think
question.
Dub's factoring IQ
Dub,
into skill.
question. Do you think that from the 80s till now, the wide receiver position has improved in skill as much?
Skill, yeah,
You think so?
like their route running. I
Yeah.
think the route running has gotten better. Yeah.
Football's hard to discuss, man.
I think that's very hard to determine if the skill is much different in football. But as Mars said, the only way that the skill level is going to improve if the rule changes. They're going to like need people to basically carry the ball for
Mhm.
the dribbling skills to improve. So I think that's like a difficult question to ask of you.
For what the wide
That
receiver shit?
you're expecting that the skill level is going to jump in the next 40 years. Just naturally if there's not rule changes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
for instance,
I don't. So yeah, that's the thing where, see, that's the thing where I'm coming off in this whole talk in general because, let's say baseball for instance and football for instance, I think that these sports has been in the league for I think like 75 years for the NBA. For football, it's been over 100 years.
Mhm.
So it's been a very long time that these sports has been prevalent in our lives and prevalent in America. And I think over time, no matter which thing you do, it's a sport. A sport is a sport. There's a time where a job is a job where it just caps off. Where it's like you've improved upon this so much, and now it's just we're here and we're stuck. And it's so hard for us to improve. It just hits a deadlock. And that's why I'm thinking we're reaching for NBA and reaching for football as well, where we've improved upon the game so much in these last 7,500 years. And it's like we're reaching the point where there's only so much to improve. You feel me?
How though? Because if you think again, back to the wide receiver thing, are people really much skill or they just have the space to do those routes now?
It could be
football's
both.
changed so much. Like the rules, you can't touch guys. I was
Yeah,
watching
that's
an
just my
Instagram clip, and Deion Sanders, the classic Deion game, he's fighting against the Cowboys. I didn't even see a flag thrown, bro. The way they officiate football now, it's hard to evaluate how good or bad offensive and defensive players are in terms of skill set because it's just
Football
not
is harder. I'm not gonna lie. Football is extremely harder to judge, especially in that realm.
schemes.
It's so
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
hard.
of football. A lot of football is situational. A lot of it's situational. A lot of it's schemes. It it's such a hard question to ask for.
We can go
like
with
that.
this is the reason I say soccer, because soccer, out of all the sports, the rules really haven't changed outside like the offsides rule. They've tweaked it from here and there, but even that didn't really fundamentally change the game that much. And the skill level, like people can say Messi is the greatest of all time, but if you do your research, there's other people. Like people think, oh, Ronaldinho was the first person to do the flip flap or the elastico. He wasn't. Rivaldinho was doing it 3 decades prior. Like all the moves that we think are new in soccer are not new, because the rules have stayed the same forever. And I think the same thing is going to happen with basketball if the rules don't change that much.
Messi's
And that's
still the
what,
greatest, by the way.
and that's what I think is
Yes.
happening. Like almost like, and
What you
I
say,
bring
Mars?
Messi's the GOAT.
Messi's
but-
the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. He is the GOAT, but
He's the GOAT.
I
And that-
digress. I'm talking about like his ability. Like obviously numbers and everything, Messi's the GOAT, but like players, there's no skill that players can do now that players weren't doing 30 years ago in soccer and football, in my opinion.
But what's his name? Jeff, like this is what I'm saying, like in baseball as well. Baseball hit a point in time where there's nothing else that you can improve upon. Baseball's just baseball and it is what it is. Like they have some rule changes every now and then, but it's nothing that really changes the way that the game is played dramatically. I think basketball, football is reaching that point. Basketball, I think they might allow it to be a little bit more physical, but I think the next generation of evolution is those taller players being able to play on the perimeter.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think the skill is going a little up with baseball. What's that the dude on the Yankees? Wasn't he about to break the
Aaron Judge?
Aaron
Yeah.
Judge.
Yeah, Judge.
Baseball's a weird sport.
He's just great.
You think he's just an anomaly?
Yeah.
No, I
He's an
think he's just
outlier
a
in his game.
No, I just think he's just a great player. Like you're just
Okay.
gonna have those. You're just gonna have a great player. I mean, Barry Bond. I mean, I don't want to get.
We
into
can't talk
baseball.
about We can't talk about Barry.
Yeah, I
Did
mean,
he cheat? Did he really cheat?
but yeah, there's just great players.
Oh,
You know,
God.
it's just. Oh no, yeah, he was taking steroids. He was.
So how many
Everyone-
rings does Brady have?
7?
7.
Interesting. Continue.
Oh my God.
What does that
We
mean?
spoke about
What
so
are you
many other
insinuating?
sports. It's crazy. We spoke about so many other sports today.
Yeah, this is open gym, but
Jack of all trades.
but hey, we gonna get some other guys in here, bro. Appreciate you guys for coming along, bro.
All right,
All right,
fellas.
man. Y'all be
Passing's
easy,
a
bro.
skill.
Thank
Passing
you.
is a skill, Dub.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I shouldn't have let that one go. We gotta talk about that more.
Passing is a skill for sure.
But Mars, see, this is what. This is where you gotta hear me, man. You gotta be here. You gotta hear me. You gotta hear me, right?
I'll listen.
hear
I'll
me.
listen.
All right. So when we talk about passing and shit like that, bro, that to me that's like IQ. I don't sit here and be like, oh, this guy's a great passer. He's such a skilled player. I'm like, nah, he's a smart ass fucking basketball player. He knows how to get guys involved. That goes to his IQ. He's a smart ass basketball player to be able to pick passes like that and recognize defenses and shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question?
So do you think do you think they work on passes? Like, oh, I work on a hook pass or I work on a bounce pass. Do you think people work at that? Or
I
it's just
think
come to them in the moment because they're so smart?
Well, I think everybody works on every aspect of their game, IQ, passing, and everything like that. And this is why I say the terminologies is different for me. Like, there's some times where we say a word, but it means a different thing. So let's say if I see a chick down the street, I call her bad. I say she bad, don't mean she's a bad person. I just think she looked fucking good. You know, it's like that in the sports world. There's some types of different terminology in which we use. So skill in basketball, for me at least, it's always been, you know, hezzy tween, dribble move, shooting touch. You feel me? Like that's what it is, bro.
Okay, so Dub, shooting is a skill, right?
I think yeah. I think
What is it-
scoring really, not really shooting, scoring.
So you
Shooting's not a
consider-
skill?
So you consider Giannis a skilled scorer?
No,
But why?
Why not, Dub? Why not? Because he doesn't do what? Because he doesn't do what?
What do you want me to say?
Is it 'cause he's gonna shoot?
Why is he not a
What do
skilled
you-
scorer?
what do you want me to say?
What
What
does
do
he
you want
not
me
do?
to say?
You know-
What
you
do
know
you
he's
want me to
not-
say?
You know you want to say, man.
He's not skilled in it. He doesn't have a nice variety package. He just
No,
don't.
it's
He doesn't have
because it
a-
doesn't look good.
He's a dominant scorer. Shaq's a dominant scorer.
What does
Giannis
dominant
is a
mean?
Dub, you know you're saying
Yeah,
he's not a
dominant-
skilled scorer because he doesn't shoot the
I
ball. You know
truly-
that's why you're saying.
I want to
Nah, he
answer.
just don't got a bag, bro.
What does dominant mean? Is it just being tall and being stronger than people? Is that what it means to you?
Athleticism.
athletic?
It's relying on your athleticism mainly to be able to dominate your way
All right.
to score buckets.
So
Exactly.
if
Like
it's
bully ball.
athletic,
Yeah.
there's like you have to be athletic to be in the league. So is it
Mhm.
he's just more athletic than everybody? There's like everybody else
Yep.
just isn't athletic.
Yep. That's dominant.
See, I don't
So-
get that
Wait,
because
but
go ahead, bro.
sorry, but I just want to know what's your I want your like definitive definition of skill because I don't get it. I just don't get what you're saying.
It's the variety of ways in which you score and the variety of ways in which you dribble.
Okay, I have
So,
a question.
Just scoring and dribbling. That's it.
That's the
So,
yeah.
you don't
Because when
think-
I go by the real definition of a skill set, because I think a skill is like anything that you can improve, and just acquiring anything that you do well. I mean, it makes it for me the conversation impossible to have because I have to include all aspects of the game. You know, like chemistry skills that you need in order to be successful in the league. Leadership, I think, is a skill to be good in the league. Jumping ability, speed, like all of these you could work on, all of things you could do well, and I have to include all these factors in order to have a skill set debate. And it's like, nah, I don't want to do that.
So it's just so you just choose not to. That's it. It's just your choice.
I mean, by definition, I think it just makes the conversation impossible to have because then I would think you have to say like LeBron is probably the most skilled person of all time. Michael Jordan is the most skilled person of all time.
I don't see why that's not fair.
I was
But
gonna
Those are
that's,
the
I think
greatest
that's
basketball players of all
fair
time.
to say. Who's your most skilled player of all time?
Probably Kobe.
Kyrie has more dribble variations.
I was about to say
Kyrie.
Do you think defense is a
I would
skill?
say like when it comes to dribbling, there's no one.
Defense is
like,
effort.
close to Kyrie.
Defense is effort.
You don't think
I
defense
don't
is a
agree.
skill?
I think
I don't
Kyrie.
agree.
Kobe doesn't get the defense
not-
advantage on the skill debate.
No. I think
Over
if you
Kyrie,
want,
that's
if you
what
want
I'm
to
saying.
say,
That's why I brought
if
it
you want
up.
to say Kyrie, if you want to say Kyrie over like skill set, I wouldn't mind it.
So
Defense
Dub,
is definitely
I like
Dub, I got a question. So
That's
so
another
you
question.
so I'm sure you familiar with like street ball and all that stuff. So you think street ballers are more skilled than NBA players?
Scabaldi, yes, he is. No, because I
But they
think you
have
could.
all.
No, I think you could get a lot of the bullshit off in street ball just because it's street ball. I think a lot of NBA players are capable of doing that. They just can't because they got to play in a professional environment. You know what I'm saying?
All right, and my second question with the Giannis thing. So you felt like how long have you felt he's been this dominant player, and how did he get to that dominance?
Probably ever since his most improved player. It's always been I rely on my athleticism. I get to the rack, Euro step, dunk. He's been polishing up his mid-range game a bit, adding that to his bag, but still nothing that's like
Is KD skilled?
I think so.
He relies on his size.
I know
That's
he
true.
does, but his scoring, he scores in a crazy variety of ways.
But he can
He don't
get
have
that
the
stuff
dribble
off
moves.
because he's tall.
Is
Huh?
it just
Yeah,
right?
He gets
He
that. He
shoots
gets
over
that
the
stuff
top.
off because he's tall.
Because he's
It's not
tall.
because
Shit,
he's
That's-
he's
extremely
still got a
skilled,
nice,
it's because
but
it's
he
because you
still has
can't block his shot.
No, but he still has a nice variety of scoring variations, right? Post move, post up game, fade away.
That only
right?
works because he's taller than people.
That's
Yeah, he's-
fine.
If we're being
Yeah.
real, he only crosses
Yeah,
over.
That's like
Yeah,
me
he
saying.
only has a couple
That's
moves,
but
but
that's
your
like
Giannis
me
He's
saying.
not, like he really doesn't have
That's
a
your
bag
Giannis
like that.
point,
It's not
though.
like super crazy. It's just
Giannis's
like
stuff
Sam
works
Presti
because he's
stuff.
more
That's
athletic
similar
than
to your
people.
Giannis
KD's
point.
stuff works because he's taller than them. It's not
That's-
because he's. It's
you
not
said he
because-
doesn't have
It's
the
the same
handle.
thing.
It's not like he's actually losing these defenders with these fakes or anything. He's just doing them, and then they're still there, and then just shoots over the top of them.
But
Like
who
DeMar
scored-
DeRozan is a skilled mid-range scorer. KD is just a tall mid-range scorer. Based on your logic, I think he's extremely skilled. But based on your logic, he's just taller than everyone.
Oh, that's
KD?
a fact.
Yeah, it's not like he's doing anything spectacular to get. He's not doing anything special to get to the spots he's getting to. And then when he gets there, he's not.
He just
losing
rises
a
over the
defender,
top.
He's just shooting over them. That's because he's tall. If you made KD 6'2", he's not getting this stuff off because he's not a great ball handler. He's not great at actually losing a defender. He doesn't manipulate the defense at all. It's just he
But
gets
what
to a
about-
spot,
what-
he shoots
what-
over them.
What about the variety of ways in which he scores? You could agree that he scores in a more variety of ways.
He's a
than
free
DeMar
level
DeRozan,
scorer,
right?
He's a free
Right?
level scorer. Yeah.
So that's what I'm going off of. So this guy, he does have the height, but his game's more of a finesse. Even though where he does rely on his height, I'm not going to say he doesn't. He does score in a very multitude of ways and has more variety of ways of scoring the ball. Handling, not so much, but scoring, like come on, bro, the dude scores.
But how many of those ways he scores?
It just looks good. It looks a lot better.
The does look a lot
Wait,
better.
but I thought you said shooting is
Yeah,
skill.
just say that, Dub. You know what you saying. It looks like
Yeah,
Same thing like you
but-
said about the 80s. It's nasty to watch the 80s because it looks bad. It's not that they're not skilled or whatever. It looks bad. I get it. So
Nah,
KD game is beautiful. So
who
I
has a
they
better
just-
handle, Giannis or KD?
They just not
Honest question.
developed.
I said Giannis, and apparently I was crazy.
I don't think it's crazy to say Giannis though.
What was the
KD
question?
he doesn't have variety. Kind of
KD versus Giannis,
but it works.
Just handles. Just who dribbles the
just
ball?
handles?
KD, it gotta be KD.
I'm not
Is it
falling
that
for
much
that.
better?
go-
I'm not
I
falling
mean-
for the hezzy tween. That's all he does.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
Giannis.
you're
I'm
saying
going
Giannis
for
he
it.
doesn't get stripped.
I'm
doesn't
going
get
for
fought.
In like tight positions,
Giannis.
like,
KD
is
gets
KD
stripped all
really
the time.
getting out of like?
I say you're
positions?
saying Giannis because he has ball security, but KD
Yeah.
has more
That's a
moves.
big
He
part
has
of
better
it.
handles.
But that's a big.
That's
Oh,
part of
that's
it.
what
That's
that
part of
is.
what he has.
KD,
that's
I
what
wouldn't
that
even
is.
say. I
Outside of
wouldn't
the
even
right to
say
left crosser.
KD has more moves. I would say he has moves he goes to and he does it consistently.
I'm saying
but
they have
But-
different moves.
a total
think
amount
about
of
Gian-
moves. I wouldn't say he has many.
And even
What
what
the
you
hell
said
does
with
Giannis
Giannis,
have that KD don't?
Right.
No, I'm
he
saying
put
they
the
can
ball
both basically
security.
do the same amount of things, except Giannis is more secure when he does it,
He's,
and he
yeah,
can
well,
handle
he
the ball
secures
better
the
in traffic.
ball.
I think he's
That's
just
the
more.
difference.
I just think he's just more
It
bigger.
just
so
looks
these,
more fluid to Dope.
I-
It's just fluid.
Nah. I think with Giannis, I think he just protects the ball better. I mean, come on, Mars. Let's
But
not be
that's
nasty.
How can you have
No,
a
but
good
that's a
handle
fact,
if
Doug.
anyone can take it from you?
That's-
It
that's
doesn't
a
make sense.
fact.
You can do a bunch of moves, but if anyone can take the ball, why does it matter?
I'm saying we've seen KD trying to dribble in space. in the
KD don't.
Boston series,
KD
and
don't
he
average
couldn't
that
get
many
anything off.
turnovers, bro. Let's not do that, Mars.
See,
Like,
this-
let's not
Yes,
do
he
that.
I said
You
this
don't-
before. I said
let's
this
not
before
do
the
that,
playoffs
bro.
last year that KD had a very suspect handle.
Duh,
I was
he does, Doug.
told that I
Boston
was crazy
exposed
and that he never loses the ball.
And
And
the
then it
bad
happened in the
bounce
playoffs,
passes.
and then I got told I was just reacting to the playoffs. KD, his whole career, hasn't been able to handle the ball in traffic. He doesn't have a huge variety of moves,
He doesn't.
and because he's so
He-
tall,
he
he bounces
just
the
ha-
ball so high.
He
it's
just
easy
has
to take
he
it from
just
him.
has more variety of moves than Giannis.
Giannis,
That's all
thank
we're
you.
saying.
What is the variety?
That's all we're
What is
saying.
the
the
But
variety?
like name the moves. I
Giannis-
don't know what the
Hezzy
moves
in
are.
between and across.
Yeah.
No. Go
Yeah. What Giannis
2 to
got?
2
He
to
runs to
1.
the fucking
Right.
paint.
2 to 1.
Runs. Cross. The fuck? What is that?
A double cross is more than a tween and a cross. It's the
That's
same
nasty.
thing. Two moves. Two
That's
moves.
ass.
Same
He just
thing.
drives, bro.
It just doesn't look good to Dope. That's it. It just doesn't look good to you, man.
Dub likes the aesthetic. Dub likes how
It's the
looks.
aesthetic. It's just it looks pleasing. It's just
He's
nice to
just
look
If
at.
real.
Giannis did the exact same thing, but it was just a turnaround jumper at the end instead of a dunk every
Oh,
single
yeah.
time, you'd say it's
Not
not
turn around jumper. If he doing the bang, tween, you feel me? Actually shifting
Right.
people.
See,
Exactly.
the exact same thing, but as long as it doesn't end on a layup, it's still
Actually
now.
making people be like, he don't do that
Pause.
shit. People
KD
don't-
doesn't do that.
People don't.
He does
KD
after
he does more than fucking Giannis.
He
I
did it
promise
early. He did it early in his career. He really doesn't do it like that. now.
Yeah,
That
but
was
like,
mainly
yeah,
because
he's
of
pulling too much muscle. He can't really. He's stiff now.
It's not even muscle. He's just older and like coming off the Achilles tear.
And
he doesn't have-
nobody
when
be guard-
KD had some
Nobody be
explosion,
guarding.
his handle was
Nobody be
better.
guarding
Now it's-
Giannis and be
There's
like.
one.
Nobody
There's the one
No.
clip in the Thunder that he has where he, I forgot who was against, but he shakes the one guy with the right to left, and that's the clip that's always referenced. And I've never seen him do anything other than that.
Or Julius
And that
Randle.
hezzy he did on Giannis is always a go-to as well.
Yeah,
There's
I know
two
one of
Even
the
clips
though,
in
even
every
though
one.
5
remember.
seconds before he literally bobbled the ball, and that's how he ended up at the 3-point line. But that's neither here nor there. But the clip left that part out.
Can I pivot real quick to something?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, Mars, you said defense is just effort. You don't think it's a skill at all?
Dub believes defense is effort.
Double? Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. All right.
I believe
Moving your
everything in
feet,
basketball
Dub.
is a
Moving your
skill.
feet is an
Yeah.
art, man. You
Oh,
love
no.
football. You know that.
Yeah, for sure. I think you need to be polishing that. I think a lot of the times though, like defense in general, I think a lot of that. I think you have to be somewhat athletic. No, you have to be. Like you can't be a good defender and not be athletic. So
Chris
even
Paul's not particularly athletic.
Chris
sick.
Paul,
He
He
nah,
wasn't.
Chris-
He wasn't a bad athlete, but he's not.
But he's not.
somebody
He's not.
but he
He
had-
an athlete.
he had
He-
athleticism. He
He
had
was a
had-
athleticism.
crazy
yeah,
athlete
no one-
before.
Yeah, but
Everyone
it
in the
wasn't
NBA has
obvious.
athleticism.
Nah. Because Chris Paul, he could move his feet pretty quick, right?
He's great. His feet is great.
But
Yeah,
compared to
he
other
great
point
hands.
guards, he's not as that.
he's not that.
But
No
as
one,
an
no one
athlete,
looks at Chris
point
Paul
guard.
and said that's an athlete. No one did that.
Right.
No,
Dub,
of course.
your first thing is, have you ever seen Chris Paul dunk? If so, you could count it on one hand.
He
So
dunked
he's
on
not-
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he dunked.
I'm saying back in the day.
Yeah, that's his
2000s
he dunked.
Chris Paul? Come on, the GOAT.
Now he was a
Go
crazy
PG.
athlete.
His best
back then.
defense
I
was on
know-
the
Come on
Clippers,
now.
and he wasn't a freak athlete. So
Come on
He's still
now.
a good athlete though. I think you have a very narrow like.
It's not
definition
about
of
it's not
athleticism.
it's not
Or
about
hasn't
it
been
being a,
personally, but-
it's not about it being a freak athlete, Mars. It's just you have to just be somewhat athletic. athletically capable. Like Draymond Green, he won't jump high and everything like that. But Draymond Green, a lot of his defense works because he's strong as shit. He's stronger than a lot of people, which allows him to play small ball, and he's quicker than a lot of guys for his size. You know, Chris Paul guarding up, he's quick on his feet. He could stay in front of guys and actually strong compared to other guards in the league, so it could be capable in defending those guys. It's not about being a crazy athletic beast, but he does
So
have
on a
some
scale of 1
athleticism.
to 10, where does Chris Paul rank as an athlete?
What?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10
Are you
being
talking
I don't
Curry,
know,
Chris Paul?
Zion,
No,
Michael
no, no, no,
Jordan,
no, no, no,
That's-
no,
that's
no.
very-
one
No,
being
it's
the
not
worst
even.
athlete. Where's Chris Paul?
I don't even. Maybe. I don't know, bro. 6.
So he's on above average
I was
NBA.
Chris
about
Paul
to say
now.
more like 4.
No, Chris Paul when
But
he
you
was at his
comparing-
best defensively.
Or
He's an
His
above
best?
average NBA athlete.
I wouldn't say he's above
But
average.
why
No.
you're comparing? You're trying
I'd
to
say
compare him. You're
then-
trying to compare him to like these fucking unicorns.
NBA
Like
players.
just because you're not on those guys' level doesn't
Not
mean
on-
you're
I'm
not
comparing him to
athletic.
Your
the average in the
athlete
NBA.
scale.
I'm comparing
Because
him to the
Draymond-
average in the NBA.
Not average. All right, so we're talking about average in the NBA. Then yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's above average, of course.
So who's an average NBA athlete?
Deuce McBride. Which I don't really care about that. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It's
I
tough.
don't know.
Would you say Draymond's above average athlete in the NBA?
I don't
Draymond.
sit here and think about these fucking questions, Mars. I'm not gonna hold you. I just don't sit here and think about who's the average athlete
What's
in the
Trae
NBA.
Young? Is Trae Young
Unathletic.
It's
Unathletic.
Trae Young is not unathletic. What are y'all talking about? This shit is crazy.
Okay, so I guess because
What about
Ja Morant
Trae's
and Trae Young are both terrible defenders, right?
What about Trae's
They're terrible because they're small, not because they're unathletic.
Yeah, but they're both
that doesn't-
terrible. They're both terrible defenders. But Dub, you would
Trae's
believe
an
Ja
athlete,
Morant has
crazy.
more defensive potential than Trae Young, right?
I would say he has more defensive potential, but he don't show that shit.
Because he's more athletic, right?
Yeah, but he don't do it. So
So you would say, on average, the more athletic players are better defensively,
yeah,
and then when they're not, the reason for that is what?
sometimes you have outliers like Ja Morant and Trae Young. A lot of it could do with effort. A lot of it just not a good defender. Like it is what it is.
So if LeBron tried harder, would he be a better defender than Kobe Bryant?
I don't know, because Kobe was a great defender.
He was.
So that's a
and
tough one.
LeBron was
And
a better athlete.
LeBron at his peak. No, LeBron at his peak was great, but I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one. I think it's very close between the two, though. Like people sleep on LeBron's defense. I think.
Would you consider Andre Kirilenko an athlete?
Yeah.
AK.
Like, I'm not saying like I don't know any NBA players who are legitimately bad athletes. Besides like the 7'4" guys like Boba Marjanovic.
Yeah, that are just
Can't
there
even
for
run.
there. Yeah.
Say Kyle Anderson's in the league still.
But I mean, there's
he's-
some NBA players, Mars, that get picked on in the NBA due to them not being as athletically capable
Duncan
as everybody
Robinson.
else. Duncan
Yes.
Robinson, Jokic, Cat. It's just
No,
not
Cat's
as
just bad.
No, Cat's just a bad defender.
Yeah, Cat's
I
just
wasn't
bad.
say Cat's.
You don't think he's just you don't think it's just because he's slow as fuck?
No, I
I
just
think
think
it's
he's a
because
bad
he's just
defender.
bad defender.
And
I
he's
think, I
bad.
think he's just
Those feet
yeah,
are
I think
nasty.
he's- I think
Wait,
he's
so
just
y'all
bad.
think if he gave effort, he could be a good defender?
It's not about effort.
No,
it's
no,
about-
No, because I think
no,
defense is a
IQ.
skill.
I
I
just
think
don't
it's a
think he has
skill.
defensive
I don't
IQ.
think if you just try harder on defense,
It's a
you become
skill,
good.
yeah.
I think it takes.
Did you
have to
did
have
y'all watch the
ability.
series last year, the Timberwolves Grizzlies, and just like see like Carl Towns just like being an absolute idiot, just not knowing where to be. It's just
Like,
crazy.
I,
Get
it's,
that.
I think
Have you watched
he's
Patrick
him
Beverly's
this
not.
year?
Patrick Beverly's not athletic,
that's a good one.
and he plays pretty good defense.
He's strong. He's strong. That's athleticism. What are we doing? Like what?
Yo,
He's strong.
I'm not saying he has no athletic skills. I'm saying he's
But that's
not
what I'm
athletic.
saying. You have to have. I didn't say you have to be this crazy athlete. What I said was you have to have some athletic capabilities that you can rely on. Some
Everyone
guys
has
is there.
some athletic capabilities.
Yeah, but you have to have something in order to rely on that. Draymond Green is his strength. Pat Bev, strength. I think
I'd say
Chris
the
Paul.
same thing for. I'd say the same thing for offensive players.
What about that?
But
You don't think
You
you have
have
to
to
be
have-
athletic to get to the
you
rim?
can't play in the NBA with no athletic ability, even if you are extremely skilled offensively. You
Yeah,
need
why-
speed to
why-
be able to blow by
why-
a defender. You
why
need
y'all
something
taking-
to be able to. You need
Why,
explosion
why
to
you
finish
taking
at the rim.
Why you taking this so literal, bro?
No, because I'm saying
Like-
if your argument for why defense isn't a skill is because you need athleticism to, in some degree, to be a good defender. You need athleticism to be a good offensive player as well.
You need to be in the league.
Like,
It's a sport.
you
What
need
are we talking
athleticism
about?
to play sports.
Yeah, you need athleticism to play sports, Mars. But come on,
But we
bro.
don't say
That's-
offense.
You
We don't say offense
context
isn't a
bending,
skill
bro.
because you need athleticism to be good at it.
No,
There's no
bro,
one in
you-
the league who is unathletic and great at offense. No one.
No, bro, you're not listening, bro. The point in which they rely on their offense is different. I think more times on the offensive side of things, you don't have to sit here and rely on your athleticism to sit here and get off like that. For some cases, you feel me? To be
Because
a good
your
offensive
skills.
players because
Like
of your
who?
skills.
Like
Because of
who?
your skills, you feel me?
Like who?
You could be
Like-
athletic. You could be athletic but not be skilled and be ass. You feel me? It is what it is. But for defense, I think it's more of a necessity. It's more of a necessity to be athletic. You have to be athletic in
Wait,
order
Myers,
to
would
sit
you
here and be a
say
good
sorry?
defender.
Would you say Jokic is athletic? He's not athletic, but he's elite on offense.
I mean, it depends what you consider athleticism. Because I consider athleticism to be a bunch of different things. But I
But,
think
like,
I
in the
think
whole
size
grand
is a part of athleticism. I
Like
think
Luka,
coordination is a part of
Luka
athleticism,
right
strength,
now.
balance, like,
Luka's
they're all
not that
athletic
athletic.
traits in my opinion.
Luka's not that athletic right now. He's able to get off mainly because of his IQ and his skill set.
I think if you have deceleration like Luka does, that's an athletic skill. He's very strong. I think that's a skill. Height is a skill. He's extremely coordinated. That's another skill. There's a bunch of skills to me that are
Talking about
athletic
athleticism.
abilities. They're all athletic abilities to me. Like, I don't just
Be able to
consider
stop
athleticism
on
to
a
be
dime.
speed and jumping.
Wait, IQ is an athletic ability.
I
To
said
be able to
coordination. I
stop,
don't think I
to
said
be able to
IQ.
stop and
Oh,
change
sorry, my fault.
directions and all of that. You know that, Dub. You watch football, and you're a football guy. Stop and changing directions is a skill. Not everybody could do that at the same rate, at the same speed. You got some guys got to slow down a lot more to do it. Some guys could do it right on the dime, going at a high speed. That's a skill.
That's
I think
a
there's
skill.
I think
But
everything
that's
you
a
do
skill.
with your
But is
body
that athleticism though?
Yeah, I think everything you can do with your
That's
body is athleticism.
I think that's more. I think that's more of you just understanding your body and learning how to work around your body and sit here and maneuver your
athleticism.
toward your body like
That's
that.
athleticism.
That's
though, is it not?
athleticism.
You'd consider gymnasts to be athletic, right?
So,
or would you not?
Yeah.
Would you consider a powerlifter to be athletic?
That's the control of your body.
But
Like
everybody has
Kyrie
a
when he
different
flies
skill
through
set.
the air and contorts his body and makes a crazy layup.
That's what makes these games great, because the individual have their own athletic ability. So that's what makes it different. Not everybody's the same kind of athlete. So people are great or good at different things. So that's what makes these games great, because everybody could tween cross. But the way you tween cross because of your ability, the way you drop your knee, and the way you
Mars, hold
accelerate or decelerate, all that is your athletic ability. Double pumping, hanging in the air, all of that.
Yeah. All right, but wait, Mars. So you're telling me that Luka's athletic?
I think there's a lot of skills, athletic skills that Luka has. Yes, he's not
So is
athletic
he
by
athletic?
the orthodox method of athleticism, but I consider him an
What's
athletic person.
Hold on.
But bro, wait. So he's
1
an
through
athletic.
10.
Wait. So he's an athletic person in your eyes?
Yes.
Nah, I'm
On a
not.
scale
I'm
of
not
1 to
with that.
10 in the NBA, how
I'm not.
athletic
I'm
is
not
he?
on that,
Compared
bro.
to the
I'm not on
NBA,
that.
I think
Come on,
Luka's
son.
I think he's
But
average.
but
I
Doug,
think
wouldn't
he's
you agree that
athletic.
everybody has a different individual athletic set?
Yeah. I do.
So
Based on the traditional athleticism of speed, vertical, and strength, Luka's not a great athlete. I just think there's more that goes.
yeah,
with
based on the
athleticism than
combine,
those two things.
he's terrible.
I mean, that's what I'm looking at it as. I'm not gonna hold y'all. This whole twisting, contorting your body, I like the concept.
So what would you consider? What would you consider
But
that?
that's skill. Like that's just skill to me. Like that's you understanding how to move around and understanding, which ways to attack. I think that goes to how smart you are. That goes to your skill. And that just goes off of knowledge. Because there's plenty of guys out there that could definitely do the same thing, but they don't have the shit in between the ears to sit here and think about doing some shit like that.
Athleticism is the ability to repeatedly perform a range of movements with precision and confidence in a variety of environments.
You talking about
which
two different
require a
things.
competent level of motor skills, strength, power, speed, agility, balance, coordination, and endurance.
Yeah,
you
you
think
talking
you
about
could
two different
purely
things.
steal your way in the league?
So it's more than just running
fast.
fast and jumping high. Like
Well,
Steph being able to run off ball the whole game, that's athleticism to me.
Oh,
Steph being
fuck
able
that.
to run around screens that
What?
I'm
Wait,
off this.
wait,
That's
do you not
endurance.
think
I'm
Steph
off
Curry's
this.
ability to
About.
move is
off
That's
this.
endurance,
athleticism?
bro.
That's
You
just
tell me
your
a
bring
skill
up-
and endurance.
a track man's
Don't bring
not
up-
an athlete? Are you
endurance
bring
is
up-
a part of athleticism to me.
Don't bring up
Yeah,
Steph Curry with mine.
because
I
if
don't wanna
everybody,
fuck
but if everybody
don't gotta be Steph
could
Curry,
do
it
it,
could be
they
somebody
would. If everybody could do it, they would. But
No,
that's
it's
his
not.
skill set.
It's not
That's
hard
his
to train your.
athletic ability.
It's not hard to train your fucking body to run that fucking long, bro.
So
It's
Nah,
not
why
hard
is
to
he
stop.
only
train
one doing that?
athleticism. That's the whole
Let me
point.
not be nasty. Let me not be nasty, but
It's
So
not
wouldn't a
hard to
lot more
jump
people
higher.
be doing it? Wouldn't you think a lot more people would be doing that? Seeing how effective it is, wouldn't a lot more people be doing on that type of vibe?
If it's that simple, everybody
What,
can do
Steph? Doing what Steph was doing?
Yeah, doing what Steph does.
They
Wouldn't a
don't
lot?
do what Steph does because none of those guys can fucking shoot like him. That's why.
it.
That's why he runs
I
around so
disagree with
much.
that personally. But
Huh?
you don't think play? All right, okay, this is gonna get nasty. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit nasty. Do you really think a player can't shoot at like a 40% clip the same way that like Steph Curry does because of skill? Just like purely shooting the basketball, like empty gym. Do you think they can't shoot like a similar rate? Just like empty gym, just the act of throwing a basketball in the hoop, just like that. Do you think Steph Curry is just far and above everybody? Like just that much further?
Yes. Think there's some guys catching up.
So if everybody took 100 threes, Steph Curry's making 90 and the next guy's making like 75. You think it's like that big a discrepancy?
You're talking about an open gym?
Just shooting the basketball, purely. Just shooting a basketball.
And the flow of the game, bro. Fucking Steph Curry, son, he's far and above everybody else.
And would you consider Steph Curry an elite athlete?
No.
This is fucking crazy.
Would you,
No. Do you not understand where I'm coming from? Because if other players were as athletic as him, as far as endurance, as far as quickness, as far as balance, as far as being able to reorient yourself to shooting a basketball, do you think everybody can do that?
Possibly not like Steph Curry, no.
Because he's more athletic. Like, do you not see where this is coming from?
No, it's because he just knows how to shoot the ball.
Because he knows how to do it? You think it's a skill?
Because he taught himself on how to do that. He taught himself on how to control his body.
You don't think other players can teach themselves how to do it?
Bro, do you know how many hours this man spent training and practicing?
Everybody
hours.
Nah, bro. Nah, son. Not everyone
Do you think if Russell Westbrook took as many hours to shoot as Steph Curry did, he'd be just as good as a shooter?
No.
Why?
He's too strong, I think. He's too athletic.
The random football question is for a quarterback: is arm strength, athletic ability, or skill?
Athletic.
I'm so confused.
So, Dub, athleticism is just what you're naturally gifted with, to you.
That's talent.
Hey.
Being naturally gifted at something is talent. I mean, I read the definition of athleticism.
So I'm asking Dub, like, okay, physical things like jumping.
To me, physical is jumping, speed, strength, shit like that.
And like lung capacity doesn't go into that. Balance doesn't go into that.
Stamina could go into that. Balance, yeah, balance could, but I don't really look at it like that. Like for a wide receiver, I think balance and things like that will probably mean more. But it's not really something that I really look at.
I don't want to keep hammering the Steph Curry example, but like,
nah, I got a different example for him.
All right, go ahead. You got
it. Is Michael Phelps an athlete, or is he just skilled? Is he just a better athlete than everybody, or is he just more skilled than everybody?
Chill, bro. That's swimming, though, bro. That's swimming. Like, these are different sports. Yeah, like, come on. This is like, yo, of course, if he's swimming better than everybody else, he's the better athlete of everybody else. That dude's that dude's a demon.
You don't think he's more skilled than them as well?
He could be, yeah, for sure. And he's more athletic.
But he dominates because he has everything. He's just both.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT, bro. You feel me? I hate how we're using all these different sports, though.
I'm saying because it's his body type is set up for it. Like he has this long torso, so like the way his body is set up. So he's not necessarily just that great of an athlete. His body is perfect for that whole setup. So that's why I asked that.
I think it's both though. I think he's skilled and he's athletic. You know? Are chess players? I mean, Chase Richard asks, are chess players athletes?
It's in the Olympics, man.
No, it's IQ.
You'd have to consider like cognitive skills as part of athleticism.
I'm not going that far.
I don't know.
We're not going there. That's a bit
I don't know how far I'd go with that.
That's a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
I think y'all going down this fucking weird ass rabbit hole for me, bro. I'm just trying to keep it simple between y'all, bro. Y'all just going down this crazy ass. You talking about?
You say they're better jumping high and running fast.
Yeah, y'all talking. That's what I'm saying. But now y'all talking about, oh yeah, contorting his fucking body.
Yeah, but coordination. Like,
because not everybody.
I just think things you do with your body are considered athletic.
Yeah, those are separators. Those are the things that separate.
Mars, I can't believe you sit here and call Luka an average athlete in the NBA. I'm hurt.
He has a lot of athletic skills.
No, the fuck he don't. That
He
dude's
doesn't have the
slow.
traditional athletic skills in terms of speed.
He just knows
explosion,
how
and vertical.
he knows how to use his body to hide his deficiencies.
I
in
never said he doesn't
athleticism.
have athletic deficiencies, but I'm not going to say every athletic person doesn't have athletic deficiencies.
What?
You can be
I have
athletic
I have
and
a
still
perfect
not be
example.
athletic in
Hold on.
every aspect of athleticism, and still be an
And
athletic
what was
person.
what was Luka athletic in again?
I think he has great balance, coordination, deceleration, change of direction, change of pace, strength, size. That's quite a few
This a
aspects of
bunch of
athleticism.
This a bunch of catnip
All right,
I'm hearing.
who-
That
who's
doesn't
a
make
better
him a good
athlete,
athlete.
Zion or Draymond Green?
Zion.
You'd have to go
Okay.
down the mental athleticism route for Draymond Green, and I'm not doing it.
I'm not going with that. All right, who can?
Wait.
slide their-
Why not? Why not? Why
Wait.
wouldn't it be Draymond though?
No, I'm saying. All right, wait, hold on. Who
Wait, why
slides their
wouldn't it
feet
be?
back-
Why wouldn't it be Draymond, Mars?
Zion, in my opinion, more body control, faster, stronger, jumps higher, controls his body better in terms of in the air, not injuries and stuff.
I'm trying to illustrate something because like Zion can't
There's a
slide
few
left
things.
or right. He cannot move laterally.
Laterally.
Exactly.
he's-
This
yeah.
is what I'm getting at. So like this is a different aspect of athleticism because you would consider being able to move left to right like part of athleticism, right?
That's athletic position.
That's what I'm saying. So like
Now
if you-
sometimes people are just too fucking slow. So it's like I would consider that moving laterally quick. That's part of athleticism. People just can't move their feet sometimes. You feel me? Like they just
Because
can't.
they're
exactly.
less athletic- 'cause
You
they're
would
less
never
athletic.
call Zion a bad
Yeah.
athlete though because he can't move left to right. You see what I'm getting at?
Mhm.
Like because there's other things that he does athletically that makes him like a top 0.1% athlete. So like when you have such like a narrow like definition, it just like kind of like makes everything like unclear. You see what I'm saying? Like because like he's not a bad athlete, but there's things athletically that he cannot do. I don't know if I explained that well, but like
I
I'm
think
trying
to
get-
some degree, things like dexterity are part of athleticism as well. Like the ability to use all your limbs in an equal fashion. That's a part of athleticism. Like Zion Williamson has no right hand, but he's extremely left hand dominant. Kyrie Irving can use both his hands damn near equally. That's a part of athleticism to me. So it's just I view it differently.
you know one James Wiseman. I don't think is a good athlete.
James
I think
Wiseman is
he's
just a trash basketball player.
yeah exactly. I want to slander him, but like
Yo,
He's not-
somebody
he's not slandered
somebody
if it's
asked.
true. It's
Somebody
not slandered
asked.
if it's
Is
true.
Dirk athletic?
Yeah. Young Dirk. Check
Young
out some
Dirk,
baseline
Young Dirk
level.
was
Check out some
athletic.
O-
Young Dirk
yeah,
was
check out some
athletic. Yeah,
02,
young
03.
Dirk was athletic.
01 Dirk.
Yeah,
Prior to
I'll
like
give you Dirk.
prior to like his MVP year, he was actually pretty.
Yeah, like 03, 02. Dirk used to get it off the
03.
rebound and go.
Yeah,
He could
yeah,
handle
you're
it a
right.
little bit.
He had a
Dirk was
very good
alright.
first step as well. Surprisingly.
Yeah, Dirk was alright. I don't know what happened while he just it zapped, but he fell off.
You
the
said
cliff
after that MVP, he was average or he was below average, Mars?
I didn't say either. I just said he was athletic prior to
Prior.
the MVP.
Was he average after that though? Come on, bro.
No,
He really fell off, like, at, like,
I'd probably say he was
2012.
below average. I'd probably say he was below average.
Oh Jesus.
I think he got more like stamina and strength, but then his foot speed decreased.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
A
happened
lot-
when Avery
his
Johnson
jumping
got
ability
there.
decreased. A lot of things decreased, but he did gain like minor athletic enhancements in terms of endurance and strength.
Nah, that's when he got stronger. He started going to the post. That was like 05, 06. And he never really got that burst back after that. So
Yeah.
his game changed. So he didn't really play the same after that time.
But I do think he
So
became
who-
a better player though. But
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who y'all
For
think
sure.
are, like-
He added that back to the basket. So he added that shot. He added the famous one footer. So that was the change.
Who's at the lower scale of like athleticism of players right now? Because y'all saying everybody's an athlete. Like who are the bottom
Taco
athletes?
Fall.
Talk. Okay.
Boban
Besides the big man,
Marjanovic is
take
the
like the big man out
definition
of
of
it.
unathletic.
I
Duncan
think-
Robinson.
Duncan Robinson's not very athletic.
Very high on that list.
I'm trying to think of players who like play.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
white players.
David Burst Hands.
Yeah, he's not very athletic.
I don't think Laurie Markin is athletic. That dude's just a bucket.
Oh, he'll fucking dunk on you though.
Right.
He fucking 7 foot. He better fucking dunk. Jesus
I
Christ.
mean, he gotta be athletic to get up there. There's some 7-footers that ain't doing that no more.
Nah, son, he's 7 foot tall with
No.
a fucking 30-inch wingspan. Nah,
You ain't see Laurie,
Matt Ryan is an athletic.
Laurie Markkinen on the break this year.
So the specialist 3-point shooters.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty
You ain't see
much.
Laurie Markkinen on the break
That's what
this
we
year.
learned.
You watching him, Jazz? Stop fronting, Doug.
It's like Boyan.
But
like,
he's just so
Boyan.
slow and lanky.
No, I
for me.
said
It's
I
like,
respect it, but if
really
you
like-
sleep, he'll catch it, and you gonna get some work if he catch you.
Someone said PJ Tucker. That's a good one. He's not very athletic.
PJ
Yeah.
Tucker's the worst player I've ever seen.
What?
I hate that guy.
He's the dog. You just
PJ Tucker's not athletic. What are we
You got the
doing?
dog.
Very athletic.
He's strong. That's your thing. He's strong. He moves his feet well.
He moves his feet well. He's strong.
That's
I
it.
never
That's
see
it.
someone get 50 dropped on them in the playoffs and say, "Oh yeah, he defended them well." That's just crazy to me.
Oh yeah, that is wild to me.
PJ Tucker, like this is a specific player I hate the most. He's just so
Nah.
bad. And just
Hey,
just-
keyboard warriors, log the fuck in. Stop fucking hiding. My bad.
He
Had
fell-
to
he
say
I
fell
ain't
that.
off
gonna
the
judge
snitch, man.
And like the damn video, we got 200 people in here.
yeah, PJ Tucker sucks. That's all I gotta say.
Is Kyle Anderson athletic in the Luka way?
Not on Luca's level, but he has similar athletic skills to Luca, but just much worse in damn near all of them.
I'm not gonna
So I
lie,
wouldn't,
Mars,
I wouldn't
I-
call him an athlete for that reason.
I
But he has
hate-
the athletic skills.
I hate your logic about athleticism. I really do.
you
I
not-
really hate it.
Do you not think there's
I
a
don't get how
baseline
it's
level?
my logic. It's literally just the definition
He's
of
just adding
using
more
your body.
context to what you're saying. Your definition is so thin. You just say jump speed and
Yeah,
ability.
You say
it's basically the combine. It's
You
basically
always
the
talk about
combine.
the evolution stuff, but
It's
then,
like,
but then
there's
when
more-
it's time for you to evolve your definitions of words, you don't change them.
You're
You
fucking
still have
right.
the same playmaking definition from 20 years ago.
You're
but,
fucking
like,
right.
could've
When
just
I'm
changed
thinking about athleticism, is literally combine shit. What they do on the combine, how athletic they are in that. I'm not thinking about contorting and shit, positioning your body. Like it's just doesn't mean.
You think
much
if they expanded their like definitions of athleticism, we get less like draft busts? You know, because you take like a.
Yeah, plus.
I'm saying because like a player like who's a super athlete that just like a Derrick Jones, the guy's like one of the most athletic players in the NBA, but he clearly can't do anything because you know.
Well, you
Just
could be
have certain
athletic
skills.
and not be. You could be athletic and not be good. You feel me? Like
I'm saying, but
I
like
don't make him a draft bust though.
I'm not saying he's a draft bust. I was just trying to think of a player that was athletic that like
Was
you know.
he was undrafted? No, wasn't he? No.
I don't even know. But you
I'm
can
not
think of
trying-
someone like a Dennis Smith Jr. Even
Yeah,
though
that,
he
yeah,
was
perfect
this
example.
year.
Perfect example.
But
Because he clearly has like athletic gifts, like in a traditional sense, but
he has 2 ACLs. Like he's genuinely athletically gifted.
yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
how
But he wasn't that good because of like certain other skills. Like he wasn't like good like shooting off the ball. He didn't really. He's actually playing a lot better this year, but you know,
Yeah, he had a great game against us, but everyone seems to do that now. So
it's because y'all keep playing James Wiseman.
I said before the season that guy was trash. I was once again told that I was wrong and that he was going to develop. No, he's trash.
before the season.
I thought he was trash from day one.
Hey, one of the guys I just brought
I
in
just
here.
heard myself
There's an
twice.
echo. Yo, more people join the waiting room, please. But other than that, let's get started.
As
What's
long
up,
as we all know
fellas?
James Wiseman is trash. Like, I'm glad we're all on that page.
I don't appreciate y'all ganging up on me like this. My
You
fault.
just need to change your definition of a few things.
Yeah,
Nah,
definitely.
nah.
It's just not broad. Like it's too broad. That's the only problem.
It's
I have with it.
it's
Not broad,
archaic.
it's too narrow.
It's archaic.
You have Bob Cousy definitions, but hate Bob Cousy. That's how I view it. It makes no sense.
I have Bob Cousy definitions.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
old head definition.
You have old lines of thinking, but then don't like the old generation, but you think like them.
I don't like the old generation because they're ass at basketball.
But you view the game the way they view it.
Yeah, that's the definition they give me.
Dub, you don't think elite is elite? Like you don't think if you were elite in the 80s, you would be elite in most any other era? I think like the guys that are ass was like 8 through whatever, 15, 9 through 15. Those guys who really didn't play, who probably really were plumbers on because they didn't rake that much money. Like you don't think that's where the separation is? Like elite is elite. Like you know,
I think the
Mike-
80s.
Mike-
I do include.
LeBron
I
would
do.
also be LeBron wherever he would be placed. Like I don't think it would change if you're an
I think
elite.
that applies like once the 3-point line came in. You're not no matter what you try to like. Elgin Baylor is not doing anything in today's game. No
That's a
matter what.
lie,
I mean,
Income.
no.
That's a lie,
The
Income.
3-point line is obviously a difference maker, and that changes everything. But like, just generally speaking, like if you are an elite guy in the 80s or you're an elite guy in the 90s, I'm not talking about the ninth guy who only played if somebody got hurt. I'm not comparing him to, the guys who are the ninth and the 10th guys now. I think that's where this difference comes into play. Ball handling skills, shooting, because those guys back then probably didn't think they were going to be able to stick around. Those probably 4 or 5 year careers. They had to go get jobs afterwards. Whereas now, if you get that contract at the 9th, 10th man, you're probably good for a generation or two.
So I think the cutoff for me is in the 80s. I do hold players in the 80s to a higher light, like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. I think they could be fine in today's league. I think Kareem could be fine in today's league as well. Like people
That's
think
what I'm
just
saying. The elite guys, elite players.
Yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
talking about 9th and 10th. The elite players across the
Yeah,
board.
I think they could play in today's league. I think that's where the cutoff is for me. I just think the overall talent pool just wasn't as much as it is in today's day or in the 2000s.
Bro, it's gonna get like that as
I mean-
basketball goes on. Now.
I agree with Doug personally.
Yeah, that's just evolution, though.
Right.
That's,
At the 2000s is the 2010s is better basketball. Like it, I'm gonna say objectively, but it's better basketball compared to scoring and pace and whatnot compared to the 2000s where you throw it down to a big man in the post. Like, but in 2030 we're gonna have like Victor Wembanyama's doing
I don't agree with that.
7-4 coming down the court. You don't know
I
if he's
think it's
gonna
an anomaly.
pass you. And then guys like that, he's going to be playing weak side help and things like that. Like the game's going to
I
get.
can't wait for that. Son, I cannot wait. If that happens, like this whole evolution bullshit that I'm talking about, like that's where I say, like that's where I give the edge off. Because I think when that happens, like the league is just gonna be wild. I think it's gonna be amazing to see, bro. Like I cannot wait to see these fucking
Dub,
demigods.
How much better do you think the league can get though? I don't see how
It's
much
only
better
high.
it can get.
It's only high. It's only seeing fucking a bunch of Victor Wembanyama's across the field and playing basketball.
Rare. That's not going to happen.
that's
not possible.
So you think like 6'3", 60-point guards are gonna start dying out, everything like that?
Nah, I think they'll still be prevalent. I think the skill.
They're already dying out.
I'll clean up my definition for you guys. The dribble variations isn't gonna increase as much. Not skill set, but the dribble variations isn't gonna increase as much. But I just think I really think that you don't think, Logan, that a lot of Victor Wembanyama's is gonna be out there?
For every Victor Wembanyama, it's a fucking bowl.
It's not gonna be Wembanyama's. It's gonna be Cade
Yeah,
Cunningham.
facts.
That's the I guess evolution, but
It's gonna be 6-7. Victor's gonna be the outlier. I think he's a one-off. I don't think you're gonna see that.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be many 7'4"
Guys like this,
guys like that in the league.
like Kenny Manning, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, like guys that we thought were gonna be the next Magic Johnson. Guys in that mold. Even Penny Hardaway got slapped with that when he came out of college. He was the closest guy, maybe, and he's the mold for the point guard today. So, it's gonna be guys that we compare to like Kevin Durant. We've been doing it for years, but it's gonna be so rare that we get the player that's gonna be everything that we hope for and more. Like it's gonna be rare.
So I think there's been a revitalization of the big men in the leagues today, because now we're seeing now you have a lot more like Lauri Markkanens, Bam Adebayo's, Anthony Davis, Jokic, Embiid. If you guys want to include Rudy, you can include.
How
Rudy
did you
as well.
start with Lauri Markkanen?
Yeah, that was
No. I started
the
off.
hell?
I started off with Lauri Markkanen to demonstrate. I'll take Rudy out of it. Guys who can play, bigger guys who can play on the perimeter. So we're seeing that kind of change. Evan Mobley, these are bigger guys who's now in the league, whereas bigger average guys playing on the perimeter.
He
I
can
see more
guard
of
on
that.
But we don't know if he has any perimeter game yet. Like we see the jump shot is coming in, but we're still hoping that maybe he could develop some type of isolation scoring anyway in a post game or anything. But that's not we're not looking at Evan Mobley for his offensive. We want him to be an all-world defender to the point where he can guard the paint, he can protect the rim, guard paint defenders, and step out on guards and not get cooked at all and be a plus defender against guards. We're like players like Michael Porter Jr. That's who you look at for the offense.
Okay. All right. Then my bad. Then I kind of I might have said it wrong then, but that is Evan Mobley taking more of a versatile role. Maybe not on offensive side, but on defensive side, correct?
But yeah, but it's always been players like that size that can defend in the paint and
At
on the
this rate, like you
not
have
at
a
not
plethora
at
of offensive players like that and defensive players.
not at this rate, but back then they didn't do it because they weren't allowed. Like it wasn't like that. If you were that big, 6'9", 6'10", you were gonna put on weight and be a power forward or a center or something. You were gonna play in the paint. But
back then you just had less reason to switch, so it wasn't needed.
Yeah, everything was inside.
You could just
so
go.
you didn't need to be on the
go
perimeter
under
defending.
every ball screen, so there was no need to switch on the perimeter.
and shooting. But
so the only reason people need to switch now is because you can shoot, so you can't go underneath ball screens. So that's why the need for switching is a thing, which is why guys like Hakeem, even though I think he would have been capable on the perimeter, he wasn't really out there as much because he didn't need to be because the game was different. So I think it just comes down to what you need at the time, which dictates how players develop.
even players like I might get cooked, but Rudy Gobert, I don't think he's a terrible perimeter defender. I think he gets asked to do it too much. I think he can hold his own, but like when you got fucking Royce O'Neal is the primary guy on some guys, and you're asking him to step up on every guard in the pick and roll that he gets switched onto, he's gonna get cooked. He's gonna look bad. But I don't think he's a bad perimeter defender. I think he's, for his size, he's pretty much above average. Like to me.
His teammate is that's an example of a very bad perimeter defender. Cat is he's
bad.
Horrible.
Like I don't think he can get better at all.
He's a special case.
No, I think the problem really, people look too much at when he actually got cooked. Like the examples of when he did get cooked, they don't actually look at him. Like even for you have to take into account he is 7'2". For a 7'2" guy to be asked to be on the perimeter as much as he is, I don't know what you expect from him to do. He does hold his own, but most people just look at the highlights when he actually does get cooked. For example, against Steph, Trey Mann, that's his problem. I think that's the only problem. I don't think he's for his size, a bad perimeter defender. But like if you put him in comparison to everyone in the league, obviously, you're going to be saying he's a bad perimeter defender. For his size, he holds his own.
I like this panel.
Don't you think that you guys keep saying I'm not gonna lie, Rudy sags off all the time.
What do you mean?
Don't.
You mean he plays drop coverage, right?
He plays drop coverage all the time. So you guys are saying like you're asking him to step no, he plays drop coverage all the time. So I don't see that.
Drop coverage is
He's a
just
rim
the right,
protector.
like,
It's natural for him to go protect the rim.
But that's his job.
He's like the best drop defender we've
wide
had
open
in like the last 20 years. So I'd expect him to play drop coverage. Like,
That's fine.
That's what's got him
fine.
his cash. So.
It's just y'all was just saying that, oh yeah, you're asking him to be out on the perimeter and everything like that when they're not really asking him to do that. He's playing drop coverage, so they're not asking him to do that.
I was speaking towards Utah because in Utah they basically were asking him to go out there and
they didn't ask him to do it, just teams forced him to.
Dallas, mainly against Dallas, they just made him go out there because they're like, no, you're not going to be in the paint. We're going to take you apart. You feel me? So that on Dallas, yes, but the majority of the times they're not sitting here asking Rudy, oh yeah, every game on night out basis in the regular season, go out guard these perimeter guys. Like no, they just allow him to stay in the paint.
Yeah, in the regular season, no, but that's because you don't really game plan for the Utah Jazz in the regular season.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No one really game plans for anyone in the regular season, really, unless it's Toronto. They just seem to game plan for everyone. I don't know what's going on over there, but most teams you just
that's coaching.
Shout out to Nick Nurse.
All right, that's good coaching.
Nick Nurse is a tryhard. That's what he is.
I love him.
Is that a bad thing?
I love it.
So it's annoying when he's not your coach.
Hey, we gonna keep the guys that came in later and ask some more guys. Appreciate you guys for joining up though, bro. Always a pleasure, man. Gotcha.
Man, y'all be getting nasty about Cade Cunningham. I'm not gonna lie.
What about
when do we talk about Cade Cunningham?
Yeah, what's nasty about Cade? You talk about the panel? What they said on the panel?
On the panel, that was nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
What they said?
Oh yeah, Jalen Green clears. That's just facts. But
I mean,
clears Cade.
Jalen Green clears every player in the NBA.
I mean, yeah, he's top 3 good looking, top 3 best looking in the league for sure. I give him that.
I mean, I don't have a list for that.
Wait. What do we? Who? Wait. Who said that? I was texting.
Top 3.
Yeah, I don't have a list for that.
Yeah,
He said top 3 good looking.
It's Kelly Oubre.
Oh my God, he got it old. Oh my God.
I was going to ask.
Has a list.
I was going to ask who number 1 and who number 2.
Kelly Oubre.
Yo. And then third, probably got to be Jordan Poole. But that nigga be making the ugliest faces I've ever seen. So I don't know.
My boy got a top 3.
That nigga is a
He's a demon.
But them dudes still looking.
That's funny, bro.
That's all right, bro. If you like that, just say it, man. It's cool. I agree, though. I agree. Kelly Oubre. The beautiful man right there.
Nah, he fell off ever since he joined the Warriors.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. He forgot. He's the only guy I've seen join the Warriors and forget how to shoot.
Oh yeah, he was shooting.
He's one of the only guys who joined the Warriors and got worse at basketball.
For real.
I mean,
True.
are you talking specifically for the Warriors, or you talking about?
He was not the Warriors. Like when he got on, he forgot how to shoot the ball. Like it was crazy. Like he was like 70% at one point, something like that. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, he started that season terribly, but he's never been a great shooter. The issue was he's just a dumb basketball player. And
yeah,
you gotta call him dumb.
That's
I never put him a dumb person. He was a dumb basketball player for sure.
I mean, there is
he got the ball and the possession was over. He wasn't passing that ball back.
Black hole.
And he didn't fit with Golden State because of that. Which is why I think Jonathan Kuminga is not playing right now, because I don't think he's a very high IQ basketball player yet. Which is why I think he's getting DMPs.
I want to talk about that too, because that's so weird to me.
You're beautiful.
A team with one of the worst defenses in the league is playing one of their better defensive rookies. Like,
I mean, I think he's capable defensively. I think Moses Moody, even in the playoffs, showed he was a better defender. I think the issue with him is he's not a great shooter, which means you have to have him in the dunker spot. But then that means you can't play him on the court with Looney or Wiseman because they need to be there.
Yeah.
And then that means you have to play in a small ball lineup with Draymond Green at the 5. And I don't think we have the personnel or we want to do that with Jonathan Kuminga in the lineup. So I just don't think there's a space for him right now. Not until he gets that outside shot better. But I would rather him be in the G League than just not be playing.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't want to bench just not playing at all. Just send him down, give him some rest or something. But
yeah, I think the Warriors are running into a problem right now because obviously they're trying to win a championship and they're trying to develop young players who should be realistically, they all should be on really shit teams so they can have time to develop. Like literally all those guys, Wiseman, Kuminga. I mean, Jordan Poole is like the standout in terms of
Brown.
They miss Mike Brown.
Hey, who's
they missing Mike Brown bad.
Yeah, who's the top 3 most ugly players?
I'm not doing
in the league right now.
Sam Cassell.
The league is 85% black folks. I'm definitely not doing that.
Top 3.
Well, we talking because Sam Cassell definitely.
Sam Cassell and Papa Jones fight for one.
I'm not gonna lie. Listen. Bobo is what ugly ass.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Yo,
what ugly ass dude, bro.
And his dad.
I think
his dad is dead, man. Y'all gotta chill.
It's so weird looking at Bobo because like you look at him and you see him a new Bo, but then you hear him talk and he talks like a skater. Like he talks like he hangs out because he hangs out with like Playboy Cardi, Ian Connor, and all that. I don't know if y'all know that. But
I've never heard Bobo talk. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I've never. I
heard him. Like
Chris Middleton's up there.
I never watched the game and been like, oh my god, I want to hear Bobo talk after the game.
Right? No, I ain't never met somebody that's 7'2" that got like a 15-year-old voice.
15-year-old what?
A 15-year-old 5'11" kid's voice, bro. No cap.
Yo, don't that be fucking with y'all heads sometimes? I remember when I first heard Andrew Iguodala talk. That messed my head up completely. That messed up my head.
That's how he talks weird though. I don't think he talks weird.
What?
Do you guys think like? Do you guys think like?
Yo!
You got
yo, hold on, wait.
Oh, the cat.
Y'all remember?
The cat on the sideline.
Yo. Y'all remember when he was doing an interview with that chick and he tried to put the deep voice?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to,
Bro, that was so cringe. That was so cringe.
Yo.
No, Cat is just he seems to me like he's just trying to do stuff that is not really him. So it comes off like super weird.
And it's hard because like bro done been
Charlie
through a lot.
Villanueva.
Oh man.
Bro done been through a lot.
I remember when Kevin Garnett called him a cancer patient, bro.
Oh my god. He just look hairless all of his body. It just don't look right.
Nah, come on, bro.
I don't know.
Nah. But nah, it'd be hard. It'd be hard like rooting for Cat because Cat, like what he been through, like especially these last 2 years, like I be wanting like succeed, and then he start talking, and I just be like, bro, like,
nah. He's a weirdo.
You know what's so
and
funny?
it angers me because he's from Jersey.
You know what's so funny though about Cat? Everyone's so annoyed with him at this point. It's like anything that he says, like when he said, he's like, I know Cat be coming up here and talk about eating fucking Popeyes. And I'm supposed to be his vet, and everyone came out his neck.
They were like, "Where did they come from?"
That was stupid.
Yeah, I felt bad for him for that. I don't know why everyone was getting.
It was sound advice, but it's like the way it came off was like, "Why are you saying that on the podium? Like you could have just
do that."
Sometimes, like sometimes it's not the message; it's who's sending the message. So, like, his first 2 years in the league, bro was mad overweight. So the fact that you over here talking about him like that, like you was doing the same thing.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, but maybe
JT.
that comes from experience. He's gone through it and he knows that his game took a jump when he got in shape.
When he got in shape.
I get
Ding.
I get it.
I can't.
All I know is if D-Lo says something like that, it probably comes off a little bit better.
But I'm not gonna lie.
You don't do that in the media, though.
You gotta snitch on his teammate? No.
Do it in front of.
Nah, fuck D-Lo.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
You don't do that in the media. You go up to the side and do that.
You don't do that to your boys.
You look at him like, you really, D-Lo? That's what you want to do?
But I'm not gonna lie though. I did feel, and I think I seen a video about this today or the day before about I think Shannon Sharp talking about Cat. I think it's just such a stupid ass thing that they're talking about. I think Karl Anthony Towns. What happened was in the context of that conversation, they said, "Yo, Ant's been hard himself on not being able to play good on back-to-back games. You know, what do you feel about that?" So that Karl Anthony Towns, all he said was, "Nah, well, I'm his mentor. I'm supposed to be showing him the ropes and tell him how to feed his body. And, you know, him eating Popeye's chicken is just, you know, that's something that he really shouldn't be doing."
Who
Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns said that about Anthony Edwards. So what Karl Anthony Towns was doing was taking responsibility for Anthony Edwards and his bad play and saying, nah, me as a mentor, I got to do my job and coaching up on how to treat his body right. And everyone just ran with the shit as if he was coming at this dude's neck.
But he said it the way you just said it.
Yeah.
It comes off better. But that ain't
not how he said it.
That's how he said it. That's how he said it.
So wait. He said, and like he said this like in an interview, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that.
So I'm sorry, I don't really pay
So
attention.
I seen the exact video as soon as it came out.
It's a post-game presser,
Yeah, I seen it exactly when it came out, and he was like, "Well," he said, "Well, you know, my job as a mentor, you know, I gotta do my job of you know, coaching. I mean, telling Ant how to, you know, feed his body. You know, I know you guys laugh a bit, but him and Popeyes, eating Popeyes and stuff like that is not really something that he should be doing." So
I don't know. I've always been a little weird.
I don't like his stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm always been weird about.
Why'd you do that?
the Jalen Ramsey. The Jalen Ramsey.
The Jalen Ramsey is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I ain't gonna.
I've always been about players in that personal stuff. Yeah, like I feel like those are things that you should say to them instead of saying it to the media. Being more discreet about it. That's something I've always had a problem with, like Ron or something that like goes like, well, my teammates suck and they're not, you know, it's just stuff like, you know, I get like trying to do, but it's just I've always been weird about players doing that in the media. Like I feel like that should be a conversation y'all should have with each other.
I mean,
So it ain't always a negative thing. Sometimes it's calculated for the team to respond.
Kobe used to do stuff like that.
I mean, both. I never.
Come on now, Kobe. We're not comparing Kobe to Karl Anthony Towns.
No. I just mean,
the same thing.
No, I just mean the way that Kobe would like, he'll drop like, subliminals because he's trying to motivate one particular guy on a team because he's playing like ass.
Karl Anthony Towns is not a leader in any way. He's learning.
If Kobe said that to me, I'm fucking up. It ain't no excuse. But Karl Towns, nigga, you can't guard the corner. They ain't the corner for wide open.
Yeah, right. Like.
Yo, to be fair though, I was listening to a podcast, like Zach Lowe's podcast, like he's an NBA reporter, and then another reporter was on, and he literally said, Ant is fat right now. Like he just said straight up, like Ant is fat. So like, it's like,
he is fat.
If I'm your teammate and I can't call you out on like you're not in shape, then what are we teammates for?
That doesn't go to the
like. I feel like stuff like that you should call them out to their face, not to the media. Like that's weird. Like that's always been weird to me. Like when players do that.
It was something that was out of context, bro. Because he said it in my opinion, he said it and with the mindset of put the blame on me. He worded it. He worded it wrong though, and now everyone's
running. He worded it wrong, and the media took just Popeye's part. They ain't gonna put the media part.
No, they always do that. That's what they do.
They never put the mentor part. They don't talk about that.
And now people got a free joke on Ant.
But the thing is, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm low key, I'm lightweight trolling about the Cat stuff. Like, yeah, Cat is the mentor. He was mentored by Kevin Garnett his first couple years. Like, he's been talking to vets. He's a veteran. He has veteran experience. Whatever. Like, that's
one
true.
of the oldest guys on the team.
Yeah, and like, I'm really trolling when I say that shit about Cat, but that's something that just doesn't go to the media. Like, I get the way he was trying to say, he was trying to frame it as it's his fault, but the way it seemed like he didn't talk to Ant about it, or it seemed like it was like a quick conversation. Then he went to the media. That's something that you just talk to him. If it doesn't improve, maybe you go to the media to stir it a little bit. But you don't that's not an instant you just go straight to talk about, I got to be a better leader. He's out of shape. It's my fault. Because no matter what, the sooner you say he's out of shape, it's my fault. The media's nobody's gonna take it like that. They're gonna say Ant's out of shape. Ant's eating too much pop. Like it does not matter.
Yeah,
known that.
Yeah, but he might not be like a confrontational person like that. You know what I mean? Like Ant is. If you listen, Ant is straight up. Like he tells you how he feels, like straight from the heart. After he'll be like, bro, like I played like trash today, literally.
They want their leader back. They can have him back. If they want Patrick Beverly back, they can have him.
Oh, they can have him. Oh, they can definitely have him. Yeah, they can definitely have him. Take his ass back. Give me back THT. And
how you guys feel about the Lakers and everything, and how I think they just won the last game they played, right?
I honestly
2 games. Yeah.
They beat the Powers. Yeah.
6-man Russ go off the bench.
I honestly feel like Russ coming off the bench was the best thing that they possibly did with that team, because when they first came together, I wanted LeBron to take the back seat of like let Russ control it, but it's not going to work like that. And I feel coming off the bench and doing his own thing works better, because he doesn't have to share the sugar with LeBron. He can control the offense off the bench. He can be that spark. Russ still has a lot of left and everything in between. I think Lonnie Walker, he's a sleeper. I like him. He provides a lot of
ball. Sleeper, but he is outperforming his role, but he wasn't a sleeper. Like,
yeah, people knew about him.
Nah, I ain't gonna. But nah, there were people that didn't know about Lonnie Walker.
Yeah, I knew he was on the I knew he was on the Spurs right before he got there.
Yeah, Spurs.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the only thing is their defense, and that's gonna be they're gonna have to hark down on that. Everything else, I think AD has them.
AD's been decent to me.
You think it's their defense and not their offense?
The defense, no, they got defense.
Their defense is
one of the best in
right?
the league.
Yeah, the
I
defense is elite.
AD been
It's the
good,
shooting,
but
the
he ain't
shooting,
been
and the
Shooting.
fourth rebound. Shooting
The
and
shooting.
fourth rebound.
And they
'Cause
get
They,
along.
they won the Pelican game too, shooting 25% from three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, bro.
I think they need to. Okay, well,
I
I
miss
think
this Kyrie. I do.
4.
Are you on the boat?
they're
You on
not
the
going
boat
to
with the
become better
bunnies?
shooters overnight.
That was the old him.
Yeah, I think they should find a different way in terms of like moving the ball and like getting into the mid range and stuff like that instead of just coming out and just shooting up threes. I didn't like Matt Reeves, the dude who hit that.
Matt
three-
Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
It's Charles Barkley called
Yeah,
him.
That's racism.
Didn't he hit? Wasn't he like 2 for 8 for he shot that 1-3? The one something like
In the corner, yeah.
yeah. So I think they need to find a different way to get buckets because just shooting threes, you're not gonna outscore everybody like that. And I know it's different for LeBron because he has shooters. You got to put shooters around him, but
They're not going to outscore anybody
I
like
think
that.
that's the thing though.
That's
They're
not
not.
the thing.
That's how they won their last 2 games was defense. It's not because they're some
defense.
incredible scoring team. They're not like at all.
Except for that third quarter.
I hope they can keep that up
Yeah,
though.
facts.
The
What'd you
Nets
say?
the Nets are. Oh, I said I hope they can keep that up. The Nets are boo-boo.
I think because Ryan gonna have to rest for a couple games because he's sick. Because how he
Man.
was looking at Pelicans game.
Yeah.
Rest.
So he gonna have
Because
to
he's
rest.
sick?
Because I said
I don't want to hear that.
before this, when they won that first game, I said they're gonna go on a winning streak.
Brown has to
They
play.
play the Suns.
I mean, Bron hasn't looked great
Find
this
that
season.
group. They're
to
gonna
be
find
honest.
Well, he hasn't looked great. He hasn't looked great for sure. But I think that people need to relax a little bit.
Wait, what do you
in
what do
terms
you
of-
what do you think the product is? Like, what do you think the source of him like not being on the best of his not being at the game right now?
I mean, it's only been 7
all the
games.
time.
It's only
All
been
the
7
time.
games.
You know what I mean?
He can't just-
LeBron said himself that it usually takes him 10 to 15 games to
You gotta
actually
lock in.
get into the season. So
He's not going to be the LeBron he used to be. He's never going to be that guy.
But
Ever.
even if he's not that guy,
Wait, who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
I
LeBron?
said that.
What?
LeBron is not going to be the guy he was 2, 3, 4 years ago. Those days are gone. His impact for the game isn't as what it used to be. He cannot carry a team, or they would have never made it to 0-5.
I mean, yeah, but
Okay, but why are you asking a
That's a bad break.
38-year-old to carry your team?
That's
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, you should be saying AD.
I'm not asking him
right
to
there.
do anything.
No, that's what I'm saying though. That carry thing is that carry, like when people say carry, it's like, why are you asking like one individual player to carry your whole team? That's not like,
In the first couple games of the regular season, at that.
37.
How is his mainly his
They
whole-
asked him to carry the team because Anthony Davis hasn't stepped up the way he's supposed to.
He stepped up.
Anthony Davis is the best.
the other team.
Mars, I like what you said about AD before the season. Anthony Davis has been the best player in the Lakers through 7 games.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
He's been incredible, bro.
Yes.
But the way he's defending,
I wouldn't say
my
incredible.
God.
He's been solid. He's been solid.
He got to cut down on threes.
He's been incredible on defense. I'm sorry.
But
He's anchoring. that
He's been
defense.
solid. Solid is like
Wayne Gabriel.
when in Gabriel. Thank you. Solid is like when in Gabriel. When in Gabriel comes and plays like he plays fucking hard for 15 minutes. Then she's like, oh, like solid, but no, AD's been like he's been like
He's been the best player on the Lakers.
yeah.
He has been the best player on the league. But
He's been good so far.
And
I
it's
just need to see him keep it up.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
what's the Nets record?
Oh man, that train wrecked out.
2-6, yeah, 2-6.
We don't need to talk about the Nets. man.
That train wrecked out. Oh my god.
Yeah, we've spoken about the
Let's leave
Nets.
him where they're at.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
I stand with Kyrie.
Hey man,
Kyrie is.
You gonna fall with him too?
Yeah, what do you
Kyrie different, bro. That's all I.
Mars, what do you think about the Warriors right now?
Oh man,
We're bad.
No,
I
but-
mean,
Yeah.
do you think?
I'm about to hop off the bandwagon, so I'm about to be a
No.
Houston Rockets fan.
Come on,
So,
man.
Another thing, I think
that's gonna be the new.
Wait, do y'all how far do y'all think John Morant can carry the Grizzlies? I've been
second round.
Playoffs.
Who is?
I don't consider John Morant to be
Second
carrying the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's carrying the grid. They have a lot of solid players. They drafted really well.
But I think their ceiling is the conference finals.
Conference finals. Now second round.
I don't think they'll make the conference finals, but if everything goes right, I think that's as far as they could go.
I agree.
So
What about the Clippers too? Man?
Area.
Clippers.
The Clippers?
Yeah.
I'm off the Clippers.
I gotta hear shit about them every single year since Kawhi since Kawhi signed with them.
This Chris
all I heard
Paul
was-
was having. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I am a faithful Kawhi stan, so I will not abandon the Clippers in their time of need.
What's it like being a Kawhi stan when you can't stand the player you stand because he never plays?
He never plays.
All I know,
Hey.
They call AD street clothes.
all I know is if the Clippers in the playoffs and I turn on game 1 and round 1, Kawhi is gonna be on that court. That's all I know. I don't care if he's healthy and Kawhi.
I like
Unless he's going
Kawhi.
through something.
I just want him to play, bro. I just want him to play.
But this is the thing about Kawhi, like
This is him though, so like
Yeah.
right. This is why I've been saying this has been him forever. So like I stopped expecting Kawhi to win MVPs 2019. When he won that title, I was thinking this dude is never gonna play a regular season again. That's all I
He should stay in Toronto. I always say
No, he should have stayed in
Facts.
Toronto.
He should have stayed there.
I mean,
He
if
should've
you wanted to
stayed
win,
there.
his
They,
best
oh
transfer
my,
would have
that's
been
oh
to-
my
that
gosh.
should have been perennial contender.
Should have
Yeah.
came to a real team. That's what he should have did. Brown was
Well, I mean, the
looking straight.
Clippers aren't.
They're not.
yeah, he should have came to a real team. He shouldn't have came
I'm
to
so
that
sick of them.
that basement team.
Listen,
Yeah,
I've been
because,
hearing
like, how can
Clippers.
you stand Kawhi? Like that's like
No, he's a great player though. Don't get me
doesn't-
wrong.
no, it just doesn't- how can you stand someone who's never there?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't understand.
Okay,
how you,
to be
you're a
fair,
fan of someone and you never see them.
Yeah.
I mean,
How?
when I see him play, I recognize it's like, bro, he's the best player.
I guess I accept him. I accept him for like what he is. Like it's like I don't know.
Right.
he's the best what?
People argue
What is it?
why.
Yeah,
People argue Kawhi's place in like history. They don't have him top 20 because he didn't play enough games. I don't even argue with people because I understand. But when that man plays and he
plays, yeah.
percent, and this is the first time we've seen Kawhi like miss like season games, not play and not be 100%.
Did you think Kawhi was better than Kevin Durant?
Yes.
Ooh.
Point I did, and I'm a KD. I'm a
When's
KD
Kawhi
fan.
been
know
better
about
than
that one, Chief.
I'm a KD fan, and in 2021, I thought Kawhi Leonard was better than Kevin Durant. Yes.
Stop lying.
Yeah,
I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know about that one.
Stop lying.
Hey,
No, listen.
nah, don't.
On the real, I always used to go back and forth with them. Like they're to me,
They're gonna be linked. They're gonna be
Listen,
for real.
listen to me.
Was he?
Listen to me. Listen to me. okay?
Like
When you lose 2 of your best players
Oh my god.
to injury.
oh my
Oh,
good.
God,
ran-
I want to hear that shit,
And
man.
wait. I'm not done. I'm on my ticket
I let
shit
him go.
right now.
I let him
Let
go.
me breathe.
Go ahead.
When you lose 2 of your players and you take it within yourself to nut up, to shut up,
Pause.
play the fucking game, drop
that some Jersey
45,
shit?
Nut up.
nut up,
Oh,
and
nut
shut
up.
up. Nut up or shut up.
Kawhi
Get your
tore
funny up.
in the middle of the game, and
That's what he did.
to win.
Oh, he did. He,
He
played
was an
extremely
inch.
hard.
What are you talking
He
about?
was
Nut up.
he was an
nutted
inch.
up.
He was an
nutted
inch
up.
away, an
Wait.
inch away from
He
sending
got-
all of y'all favorite player home.
Time out,
He
bro.
ain't though, man. He ain't
An
I
no
mean,
inch.
You gotta choke this terminology using.
Yeah,
it
no,
sounds like you said a loser is a loser until he wins,
What happened next year?
No.
and he lost.
He lost.
No.
Ain't gonna say
He
that.
lost.
No.
Don't say that no
Did he
more.
Y'all think,
lose?
played
y'all think
better
KD's
than-
gonna request a trade?
He played
like
better
this-
than Giannis.
Like I
He
think
played
he
better than
lost.
Giannis in
Who's
that
gonna
series.
trade for him?
And he lost.
for KD.
LeBron outplayed a lot of people in the finals
Right.
And he was a better player than them.
And
and
lost.
That's not
lost.
true.
Did you just
But
ask
he
me
was a
who's gonna
better
trade
player.
for KD?
That's not true.
Wait, let
That's
me,
the win.
If it ain't
let
happened
me
by
ask y'all
now,
this. In 2015, who was better, Steph or LeBron?
LeBron.
In
To me.
2015?
2015 LeBron was really mid.
LeBron.
2018.
I'm not
all right, bro.
But
What?
No, they got a guy.
Hold on.
They got a guy Iguodala MVP.
Has to not lead to wins, then he's not the better player.
Was that the year where LeBron took up
Okay,
like
that's
2 weeks
terrible
and then
right
went to
there.
Miami? That's
But
Yeah,
his
yeah.
back and stuff. That was that
Yeah,
year,
what's the
wasn't it?
point of
He
being?
got rid of the drugs out of his.
That's
What's the point of being a better player
when he
and
Drugs
was
out
having
of
a
his
worse
body.
team?
when he was sending sub tweets to Kevin Love and shit.
Hey, no, that was so
Hey,
crazy.
Dub.
No, you know what's crazy?
Fit
No,
in, fit
my
in,
dad,
not
me
out.
and we were
Yo,
sitting there watching.
LeBron is funny, bro.
He took the drugs out of his body. That's what he
Wait,
did.
What's the point
Yeah,
of
the
being a
detox.
better player and having the worst team?
Who's talking to me?
No, I remember when my dad, he was like,
why was LeBron mid in 2015?
because he wasn't.
I mean that year, if you just like
he
for
wasn't.
some reason, I don't know if it's leaving Miami or whatever.
Or you the first year in Cleveland? Or
The
second?
first year in Cleveland,
Yeah.
he wasn't scoring the ball
Yeah.
great in the regular season or the playoffs.
You know what's funny?
His defense wasn't very. His defense fell off from 2014 to
why.
2015. It just got worse. I don't know what
You wanna
happened.
know why I think that? I think because of the system that changed when he was there. Because I feel like Miami more of like
Wasn't that the year he did the keto diet shit where he was like skinny as shit to start?
Yeah,
the
he did lose.
The
He
pit.
did lose a lot.
He
of
lost
weight.
weight, and then I remember I saw a play in preseason where he tried to bump a guy and LeBron fell back. I was like, nah, fuck, bro. LeBron, you gotta cut that shit out. You gotta cut
Yeah,
that shit
like
out.
if you just go back and watch 2015 LeBron,
Put the weight back
like,
on, put the
and
weight
then the
back on.
next year, like it's two different players. Like 2015 Bron is one of his worst seasons.
Yeah, I agree
in my
with that
opinion.
actually.
I
That's
think
true.
getting used to back to.
He played Miami in the preseason that year, and he set a screen for our Miami player, bro. I fucking died.
I
That was
remember.
funny, bro.
But yeah, this is hindsight though. But back then, I thought 2015 LeBron. To me, when Steph Curry won that first MVP, of course, he won. He's the MVP, but I'm not betting against LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron was the best player of that series.
Right, I'm not betting.
Nice. No, he was not, bro.
In the series, yeah, absolutely, he was.
Best player what
100%.
series? Best player what series?
What series?
He was.
Series when Iguodala won MVP.
The finals.
LeBron was the best player in this series by far. It wasn't even close.
Absolutely was.
He had
That
Matthew
year
Della.
he was
He had
trash. I do
Matthew
agree with Mars.
Dellavedova going to the fucking hospital because he couldn't
To
fucking
get
run.
IVs, bro.
Because he couldn't run.
Oh wait, so he didn't have other players with him? Is that he still didn't have players?
What you
Like
talking
who?
about? What you mean?
Like who? Name him.
So LeBron still didn't have players to play. They were up 2-1
in 2015.
Yes,
I hate this argument.
That's because of LeBron.
He wasn't supposed to be up 2-1.
Right.
It was because the Warriors' offense was trash. But
Yeah, their offense was
but,
yeah.
it's not because of
Harrison
LeBron.
Warren.
It's because the Warriors' offense was trash. But
yeah, they
Oh,
were.
so wait, hold on. So LeBron didn't play good in game 2 and 3.
no,
right?
he played great. But I'm not. The reason why the series was close isn't because LeBron was this
Yeah.
time
No,
great.
Mark.
It's because the Warriors' offense
Real
was
quick.
trash.
Were the Warriors like the Warriors we know today in 2015?
I'm not gonna lie,
No.
Mars. I hate it when you try to discredit people like that.
I'm
Yes,
not discrediting.
thank
LeBron
you.
played great. LeBron was great.
But Mars,
LeBron was fantastic. But to say that he's the reason why they were up, if you just rewatch, the Warriors' offense was terrible.
I would say a
they
part
weren't
of that,
winning because LeBron played great. Yes, you don't
Did
win.
that have
without
to do
LeBron
with
playing
defense
great.
or no?
But
no, a part of that
the
was
Cavs weren't playing particularly very good defense, and when they were, it wasn't because of LeBron. So if you want to say the Cavs' defense is why they were winning,
No, I'm not.
alongside
I'm not.
LeBron carrying the offense, that doesn't help LeBron's case because
I'm arguing
he
about
wasn't
But
contributing.
by
part
that
of
logic,
them not playing that well.
nobody carries any team though.
Goodness gracious.
Ever.
I mean, I don't really consider most teams to ever be carried.
Because
The closest I've ever got to it is Hakeem.
Hakeem.
That's the closest
So
I've ever got to
that's
someone
all right. So
carrying.
now I understand your logic. Now I think it's kind of nasty, though. I think it really
I
is.
just know
It's nasty as
the
fuck.
reason why I'm saying it is because when people look at Kyrie and K Love went down and the Warriors were fully healthy, on paper, sure, but when you look at how guys like Klay Thompson were playing, yes, he's Klay Thompson, but he wasn't playing like no Klay Thompson. So him being there, like if he's playing worse than the Cavs role players, why does it matter that his name's Klay?
I said it like, at that time.
because you're still a threat. You have to respect them more than you respect other.
They are in Clay.
You respect
I mean,
Amon
yeah,
Shumpert.
you can
Come on,
respect him, but then when he's not making anything, like,
I'm not gonna lie, Mars. In my personal opinion, when you alone, there's nobody else on your team, no other stars, and you sit here have to carry that fucking load, you carrying. Like, don't get me wrong, basketball.
He carried
At the
them
end,
offensively.
but Mars, at the end of the day, basketball is a team sport. I agree with you there. And you did say, by your logic, the only person you seen carry was Hakeem. But I just think that's kind of disingenuous because I'm like, nah, son. If you all the chips down on the table. You serious step
Yeah, I'm
up your
seeing other
fucking
people
game
play.
when everybody else is not there. You carrying, man.
He
Like, you
carried
But
them
that's
offensively.
not. No, no,
I
no,
think
no.
you're missing my point. He
Carry to
carried
a
them
final.
offensively,
Carry
but
to
they
a
weren't
final.
winning games because of
Hold on,
their
hold on, hold
offense.
on.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not even
He
the fact
carried them offensively, but they
Okay,
weren't winning because of the offense. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if the offense ain't, if he ain't performing like that,
I
they not in a
agree.
position.
Hold on, hold on.
No,
So
I
it
Are you
agree.
saying
works.
it's because of their
So
defense?
No, I agree. It
Is that what
works.
you're saying?
I'm saying he carried them offensively, but the reason why the series went to 6 games is
Mhm.
because Golden State's offense was trash. If in the games they lost,
But it
not
was
the whole
also
series, it was really trash. It was really
it
just
was
Steph
also
Curry and
Basketball
praise.
artist. What you
Hold
got?
on,
And if you want to
because
say that the Cavs
Braun
defense was great, that's cool, but that's not on LeBron James. I'm just saying he carried an offense, but the series wasn't close because of the Cavaliers' offense.
but
That
that's
wasn't why.
also because Braun was walking the ball up the court a lot in that series. He wanted to slow the game down, and the
Yes.
less possessions in the game, the
Yeah, the
closer.
games are ugly. The games are ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the games are ugly. Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
the 3
Yep.
games that he played really good. He was doing that until they moved Iggy on him the whole time, and that's when it changed
Mhm.
when they put Iggy.
The
Like
finals MVP move.
for me, it's not even the fact, huh?
Iguodala wasn't the only person guarding him.
But I'm saying
Nah, I mean, he did have Draymond on the court.
main person on him. Is
Yeah,
what
he was.
So no, it's not even the fact that he didn't have teammates. It's the system that he's running with. No one else is bringing the ball up the court.
It's
That's
a heliocentric system, yeah.
that's why he
No,
loses.
it's bad. It's bad offense. It's bad
That's
He
why
was
offense.
supposed to let Dellavedova bring it up.
It's like,
Dellavedova.
yeah, it's like they had no choice though. To be honest with
The
you,
wrecking ball.
That's trusting you. He's not Delvadova's not bad. I like Delvadova.
Well, okay. Well, sign him to your team right now. Let him bring the ball up the court on your team right now.
He's not bad. Is he bad?
like
He's
he
not
left
bad,
the
he's not
Cavs and
LeBron.
He's not even in the NBA.
he left the Cavs and his career faded. Like come on.
He went to the Bucks.
It's Matthew Dellavedova. Like, come on.
He had that one run of greatness. After that,
Everybody would call him a defensive
off,
star.
That wasn't even a run.
Paid for
That was a stroll.
He got
He
paid.
got Delly on
He
the
got
Kings
paid.
right
Bron
now.
got paid.
He made the Kings like
Bron got
barely,
everybody
bro.
paid on that team.
yeah, Bron got Tristan Thompson paid, and he didn't even deserve that bread, bro.
Now, hold on now. Hold on now.
Nah, I'm not hearing it.
No,
I'm
I
not
disagree
hearing
with
it.
that. No,
I'm not hearing it.
Offensive rebounding juggernaut right there.
Nah, I'm not hearing that, bro. I'm not
His
hearing
defense in
that. Nah.
2016 was actually really good. Those finals, Tristan
Yeah,
Thompson was
Tristan
really
Thompson,
good.
yeah, Tristan Thompson played well in the 2016.
Yeah, he was.
His defense
His rebound.
is really good, and his rebounding.
Grabbing every.
That's all you need in today's NBA to make 80 million.
How
Just
much?
keep it
Wait,
up.
let me check his contract because I don't remember his contract. Let me check his contract.
Oh, that nigga, he got money.
And then
He held out a training camp to get that money, man. Shout out to Rich Paul.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. That's fucking nasty. Tristan Thompson holding out. That's terrible.
It is. It is.
Tristan Thompson holding out like Jay Crowder holding out.
I don't know what Jay Crowder is doing, bro. You're not that
Crowder
caliber.
said he want to lead his own team.
You're not that caliber player to be sitting out basketball games. What are you doing, bro?
He said he wants to see what it's like to lead his own team.
So y'all think that he deserved to get paid $15 million?
Hell no, Dub.
Who,
Hell
Tristan
no.
Thompson?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I do.
No.
The rebounding, man. He was looking.
No, because
he was looking
you're looking at
like
it with
Rodman,
hindsight.
man.
You're looking at it with hindsight. You're not looking at it in the moment. They were coming off the 2016 finals when they won.
And that's why they signed him to that.
This is why.
They won.
This is why you don't sit here and make decisions. You don't rank players.
Bro,
champions.
Exactly.
Yeah, you.
Bro,
Hey,
Solomon
hold on,
Hill
wait.
got
You
paid
like-
72
you rank star
million.
players off
It's like the
championships.
Warriors.
Those
They
are
just,
role players.
hey, look, the Warriors will regret giving Jordan Poole all that money like that.
Hold on.
No,
Bro, what?
Wait. So,
Bro, he not, bro.
wait, hold on. Wait, Dub. I have to, because I've been hearing y'all
I
say
disagree
this,
with that.
and y'all the two main dudes I've been listening to when y'all have these, like, I understand why y'all say these things, but so winning doesn't matter.
The thing you could say winning. I think
Break it down
winning
for me.
I think winning basketball matters. I think you could be playing winning basketball, be in a losing situation. For example, Kevin Garnett, who's on a terrible team, but he always played winning basketball. He proved to me he could be a number one on the team due to the talent, what he was doing. So you could play winning basketball and your team's just not winning.
Do you think he was better on the Celtics than he was on the T-Wolves? Do you think he's better?
I think his role. I think his role.
He was a different role. He was a lead.
His role
No,
adjusted.
I think he fits better than that.
He was a worse player. He was a worse player. He became a better passer, in my opinion, but he was a worse player.
Well, no,
but he was worse. He was
I
worse
think-
offensively because he wasn't called upon to score the ball. You feel
I
me?
think here's my thing with the
think he was
whole
just
like
less athletic in
like
general.
here's
Yeah,
my
he was getting older that time.
Yeah, he
Here's
was getting old.
with the whole like accolades and like championships thing. I understand what Mars says like about it. Like I understand what like both of y'all say because I think it comes from when you argue, when you like debate with other people. Like when they just say, "Well, Jordan's better because he has 6 championships." That doesn't hold no value to it. Instead of saying he was the best player in all 6 of his championships. The only people that can say they were best on all their championship teams is 2 people. That's LeBron and Mike.
Shaq. Oh
Shaq-
wait,
oh,
That's
Shaq.
wait, D-Wade, my bad.
Not D-Wade. Yeah. You almost got it. Hakeem.
Hakeem.
When you say when you say best
all
player in all their championships, do you just mean they won the Finals MVP?
Huh?
When you say best player in all their rings, do you just mean they won the Finals MVP?
No, I think they're the best player when they won the.
I think Steph Curry's been the best on every ring he's won.
Oh my fucking God! We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
Mars, you think he's better than KD? You think he's better than KD?
Yes. I think he was a better player than Kevin Durant every
No,
year.
real talk. He was the person that kept him in that game 1 2018. I watched that whole game. He's the one person that kept him in that game.
Bro, because
Oh yeah, Steph showed out for sure.
Yeah. No, like,
What
but
game
if
you talking
you
about?
have that bad game, what Mars? What bad game did he have in 2018?
It was game 3.
Game-
Game 3
Yeah.
is just a notorious
That game-
bad game for Steph.
He probably would have been the Finals MVP. I'm not gonna lie. He probably would have been the Finals MVP.
I just think he was the best player on the team.
Give it
I
to
just think he was the best
KD
player.
still couldn't win.
2018, I thought Steph had
KD was not shooting.
Regardless,
KD was not shooting in the last game, trying to let Steph win.
And then he ended
Still
up with a
didn't win.
triple-double. And then he ended up with a triple-double.
He was literally trying to let him win it.
That shows you who the best player was.
Who's that, like, after
Did
he
you
had
did you genuinely
Ball
believe that at the
left
time?
I
That Steph was the best player?
I don't think since Steph won his first MVP, I don't think there's been a day that Kevin Durant's been better than him at basketball.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I disagree.
Wow.
Since
But
2015, I don't think.
Hey,
I agree.
2014 was the last year KD was a better
that's
player.
not a
so
bad
in my
take.
opinion.
I agree.
I disagree.
No, that's a bad thing.
But on the here's my,
Why you disagree, though? Why you disagree?
His first MVP. His very first MVP year, I would still take KD
His
that
first
year.
MVP year was the year KD didn't play because he was hurt.
Yeah,
That's why I said since then.
Oh, okay, got you. I get it.
Since
But-
that moment, I
Jones
think that's
fracture.
when.
Yeah.
Because his first
ever since
MVP
then.
year wasn't all that great. It was what 24-8, something like that.
he said Harden gave the Harden.
He didn't play. He didn't play a whole.
It was
bunch
24.
because-
He had 23 points and like 8 assists.
I thought Harden.
He robbed the MVP from James Harden.
Yeah, Harden.
When you don't have to play fourth quarters because you're beating teams by 20.
Okay.
Nah. James Harden lost Dwight Howard, and he was being the main character.
I'm not
for
saying
Rodgers.
James Harden didn't deserve it. I still
Oh,
think
okay.
Steph was a better player than him.
Yeah, don't
But I
context.
don't
That's
care about the
nasty
MVP.
context.
I don't care about the MVP. I still think Steph was better than James Harden, so it doesn't matter to me.
That's fine. I could agree with
On
that.
the real, like, I think the whole accolade
James Harden was better though.
is like
James Harden during the regular season was better.
Stop. I think on the real, like, I just think that it's a little like wonky because I do think they gauge a player on how good they are, but like you say, like it does take context. It's like when people talk about all NBA teams, like Kareem all NBA dude, he played like years. Like
The main thing I disagree with, right? And I'll use Chris Paul for instance, and Allen Iverson for instance as well. And this is something I extremely disagree with. If these guys won an NBA chip, a lot of people's opinion on them would change drastically.
Agree.
Me, in my personal opinion, I don't agree with that way of thinking. I don't sit here and say, "Oh yeah, when he wins a ring, I have to change and formulate a whole different type of opinion on who this guy is." In my opinion, whatever he was before should be somewhat close to the way that you think about him after. I don't support you changing your opinion dramatically just because of that.
Winning definitely matters, though. We're not gonna throw it away.
Not dramatically.
You could
but
not
somewhat
dramatically, but
when-
we all can acknowledge the fact that if Allen Iverson and CP3, if they won a ring in their career, a lot of people's opinion of them would change, not a little bit, dramatically.
If
AI was able to beat Shaq and Kobe, I would think.
No, like real talk.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, he would have been in some different rooms.
Yeah, he would have been top.
Yeah, if AI was able to beat Shaq and Kobe, yeah,
So I think
very different.
so I,
Damn, top 10. Shit.
I just want to say something about, and I get what you think about Chris Paul. Like, he is probably the most like, but I think for him to win a ring, he would have to change his style of play.
What?
I don't agree.
This is why. And I make a Isaiah Thomas.
That's not a bad take.
I'm not sure about that.
Isaiah Thomas to me is second. He's either top 3 best point guards of all time. I don't know.
Isaiah Thomas?
Zeke?
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah, he's
number 3.
Like, don't act. Come on, man. Like that's. But he,
Okay,
yeah.
It's semantics, but yeah. All right.
When he went from he averaged in like 13 before he won a championship. When he went from 17 and like 7, that's when he started to win. You have to sacrifice something. I feel like Chris Paul and AI have never sacrificed something to win. That's what you have to do to win. I feel like Chris Paul doesn't do that. I would say the one year I did see it was the first year he was in
Houston.
But everybody be saying that they would, if he would have won, man, Andre Iguodala would have been able to win in 5. I don't care, but that's just me personally.
I just think he should. I just think if he was healthy, he would
Hey, 2018 actually does. I just think Chris Paul has always been the best decision maker on his team, so he's just gonna have. He's
But
gonna
when
have
you-
all.
like,
Like
when
if you play with another one, he let him get off as well.
But
He let Blake get off too.
having the ball like
Maybe
90,
Jordan
like what 1 point guards won being the dominator of the ball? Like
Magic.
Magic.
Everybody else, that's done. Like Chris,
Yeah, but that's why point guards, period, just aren't ranked that high. Like,
Yeah.
if you look at the history of the game, they're not the ones that win you championships. Historically, it was bigs, and now kind of towards this era, it's more team players.
It's hard to win
So
with
it's never,
smaller players.
yeah,
That's
it's
the
never.
problem.
Yeah, for sure. Basketball's a big people's sport.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. That's why like when people talk about, well, you know, like y'all say, like I agree with like Russell Westbrook stuff. When y'all say John Stockton that high, yeah. If you look at all the assist totals, he was averaging like 11. Everybody else averaged like 2 assists.
Nah, I don't want to talk about John. His offensive game was so bad, and that's what hindered their team. He could pass the ball,
that shit
which
was
is
so
fine,
mid, bro.
but his offensive game was
Pick
terrible.
and roll 80 times a game.
like I remember there was like a
But quickly, real quick, just to interrupt you, we do realize why pick and roll that much is because the rules of the game at that point in time, it was just the smart thing to do because you couldn't. That's why when they played the Bulls in those finals matchups, Jerry Sloan would be just begging for an illegal defense call or whatever it was called at the time on Scottie Pippen because he would kind of roam over to help on that role. But during that time, it's smart to do a pick and roll because that weak side can't just pre-rotate. So you have
Jerry Sloan was crying for some of the defense.
Bro, this is, and I said this, like there was a ESPN like this top like playoff like performances, and they had Michael at 1. There's 91. Excuse me. They had LeBron's 2012, and he averaged like 30, 11, and 5, and Tracy McGrady was like, man, his assists are pretty low. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens. We ain't dominating the ball. Like that's what happens when your role changes. That's why, like when people tell me like LeBron's better all around than Mike, I think they're the same all around. I think they're just as good as everything. Like you said, bro, in the like right beside me, he made a great point about Kobe, LeBron, and Mike. They're all good at everything. They're the only players that are really good at everything. But that's why I never understood when they say like, well, LeBron's a better passer than Mike. I think LeBron's just as good the same because Mike has 8 assists, 9 assists. Because if we're going off that, then he has averaged that stuff. He's had average 11 assists. He's had played point guard. Do I think LeBron's a natural point guard? No. I think he's a great all-around player. That's why I never compare to Magic because he don't play like Magic. He plays like Oscar damn near.
He's a fake point guard. That's what LeBron is.
What I
shit, man.
Yes, exactly. No, and that's not. I'm not knocking him. But this is
one narrative I have absolutely hated about LeBron.
He's not a scorer.
That he's a pass first player.
He's not.
He is not a pass first player, bro. You don't average 20 plus field goals in a game, and you're a pass first player. He can pass, absolutely, but he's not a pass first. Luka
He a pass first.
So who's the pass first player?
Wait, hold on. He a pass first with all the chips on the fucking table. He wants to give it to somebody else.
Oh,
Yeah, is
We're not about to get into
he a
that.
pass
Whoa,
first
stop,
player.
stop,
That's
stop,
what he
stop, stop,
when
stop.
all the chips on
Now
his
you just
deck, he
capping.
like,
Now
nah,
you
son,
just
I'm a
capping.
call.
Now you just
I ain't
capping.
gonna play. I'm a call.
Dub, give me an example of that.
I can another
He
narrative.
passed the
We'll walk
fucking
y'all
ball to.
through that.
No. We're not doing this.
No, we
we're not
can't.
doing this.
No, wait.
He had Stephen Curry on him.
30, but
You
you
gonna pass
passed
the
first.
ball to Kyle Kuzma.
No, that's
No, you're not.
no, don't do
I'm,
that. That was
I
the
can
right
see
play.
Skip
That was
Bayless
the
got
right.
into your fucking head.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
that,
lie.
that,
There
that
has,
was a
No,
Skip
hold on.
Bayless narrative.
there has been times in LeBron's career
I'm out.
where
Skip narrative.
No,
there's been times in his
Yeah,
career where he
Draymond.
should have took it himself,
they were prepared
and
for.
he chose not to.
No, they were prepared for him to drive on Steph because they had
Yeah.
on the other side and they had Draymond over there, and they were waiting on him. And Grant Hill cut it the right. That was the right play.
Motherfucker was wide open.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was like I don't criticize him.
If you're that guy, you take the shot.
Yeah, take that fucking shot.
And then when he missed,
Take that
why did you
fucking
take the
shot.
shot?
MJ or Kobe take that shot.
Like Steph did last night when
You got
Pablo was
Steph
guarding
on.
him.
You
Right?
got Steph on you, bro. Go get a fucking foul. Earn it the hard way.
He don't want to shoot no free throws. He don't
For
want
him
to
to
be
shoot
there.
free throws,
He a
yeah,
little puss.
Why is that?
He a little puss.
What? We're not doing the free throw narrative. Oh,
He
my
can't shoot
God.
free throws.
He runs from the late game free throw line. What can we do?
He do, bro.
No, I'm not saying that he runs from.
Marge is being
that
nasty
particular
for
play.
ratings. I know, Marge.
I'm saying he runs from the late game free throw line.
He running from the grind, man.
Y'all sick in the head,
Run from
man.
the grind, bro.
Sick in the head.
That's a lie.
That's that Ben Simmons.
If LeBron could make free throws, he would have already broken Kareem's record.
George Hill was not wide
No,
open.
no,
It's
okay.
facts. DC the Don,
Sure.
he wasn't wide
How many
open.
free
These are
throws?
facts.
He shoots
Who?
about like
Who wasn't wide open?
George Hill was not wide
Yeah,
open.
he was wide open.
Yeah, he made a cut. AD.
He was cutting. There was a dude right on his hip.
Oh, so
There
you
was
were
a dude
killing
on his
LeBron
hip.
when he made that pass to Kyle Korver, right? You were
Fuck
killing him,
yeah.
weren't you?
Nah, you got Steph Curry on you, bro. Go take it the hard
Steph
way,
Curry wasn't
man.
guarding him that
He
play.
don't
Nice
want
try, though.
no free
Oh,
throws.
well played now.
No. You don't want to shoot free throws.
Now, one thing I will say also,
You guys are talking about Brown like he's Ben Simmons, yo. This shit is.
I mean, LeBron's fine to score 30 until the game's on the line. Then all of a sudden he wants to get assists. I mean, I just find it kind of coincidental.
It's a fact.
Gotta get your team in the game, man.
It doesn't make sense.
I
It doesn't
think
make sense.
Right. When he nailed that jumper in Kawhi's face, y'all weren't saying he's a passer and all that shit. In the 2013 finals, when he nailed that shit
What
right in
happened in game
Kawhi's
6?
face.
What happened in game 6?
Yeah,
He tried to
you
take
weren't-
that shot on WAP and he missed.
Wait, hold on.
The shot that
Time
actually
out.
mattered. The shot
Time
that
out.
actually
One
mattered.
second.
is the one he missed.
Time out. So they were down 10. They were down 10 to start the fourth quarter. LeBron scored 16 points in the fourth quarter. But no one want to talk about that. He hit the 3-pointer when they were
Yeah,
down
we can
6
talk about that. And then
to get them
when the
within
game
3.
actually was on the line, when the game was on the line, that's when he wants to start missing.
He gotta play a point.
He does everything up until the last bit, and then all of a
gotta
sudden
play a
everyone
point.
else has to do it.
Put me on the tight Zoom. Chris Bosh and Ray Allen saved his career. I'm standing on it. Chris Bosh and Ray Allen saved this man's fucking career. Let's not do this, man. Let's not do this, bro.
That's
Let's
so
not
nasty.
do this, bro.
You guys are nasty. You
No,
guys
no,
are-
man.
We
I
can
didn't know
say the
Players'
same
Choice
thing
was going to
for
turn into
every
undisputed.
player in the
I didn't know
league.
that shit was going to happen. You guys are
Listen,
nasty, bro.
I ain't gonna lie.
Y'all nasty for that one.
Yeah.
Is it really that
One
nasty?
runs away.
He don't grab his
What
ring.
are
He
you talking
will
about,
go
bro?
to the goal.
No, hold on.
doesn't.
In 2013, he did not. He only had like 3 good games in the series.
Well, that's what they meant.
So you guys, your definition of clutch is 1, 2, 3. That's your definition of clutch, isn't it?
No, I tell you this right now.
You're not
It's not
clutch
even like
if you're not
that.
clutch if you run away from the last shot. I'm sorry.
He doesn't run away. He takes a lot of. What are you talking
And he
about?
misses, and he misses, and he misses.
He
He don't take.
Wait,
He don't
Time out,
take
time
them
out,
at the most important
I
time.
just watched the play where Steph Curry got strapped up by Pablo Banchero last night.
Huh?
So is Steph Curry not clutch then? Is that what
No,
we're
Steph
doing?
Curry's the opposite of clutch. What the hell? Biggest front runner in NBA history. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Steph Curry can't make threes unless he's up 12. Like, if we're gonna be honest. When the game's close, he just misses.
Where is Ticket? Hey,
When
why
the
is
game's
Marcus
close,
starting like
Yes!
Ticket?
Yes!
No, bro. You ain't
everyone
getting
knows Steph Curry's a
You're
front runner.
disgusting,
Everyone
Marcus.
knows
You're
Steph Curry's a front runner.
disgusting,
Everyone knows he's a front runner. Everyone
He's
knows
a front runner. He is a front runner. He is a front runner.
Exactly. When the game's close
He's
or
a
when he's
front
down,
runner.
those threes don't start dropping. Where's the dancing? Where's the little shimmies? Where's that? I don't see it.
He's
But
a
when
front
they're up
runner.
15, he wants to turn around when he's shooting.
Royal crime
He's
right
a front
now.
runner.
He's a fraud.
Royal crime right now.
When the Warriors are down 5, when the Warriors are down 5 or the game is within 5 in the fourth quarter, he's not making anything.
The day Mars comes for Steph Curry's neck, I didn't know that day was gonna come, bro. That was crazy.
I'm objective. I say it how I see it.
Look,
When we're down,
Steph
those
Curry,
threes
Steph
aren't
Curry, my
dropping.
favorite player.
This is all
Steph Curry been my favorite player since Davidson,
Nah, but Steph
but
Curry's
he ain't got it.
Steph Curry's done some clutch
Eddie.
shit, bro. I don't know why you guys are acting like he hasn't done clutch shit.
Yeah, you acting like
Everyone's had
Everybody's had
outlier
a clutch
moments.
moment.
Russell Westbrook is Russell Westbrook more clutch than Steph Curry?
I trust Russell Westbrook to make the shot.
Yes.
than I do Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And that's why I draw the line. All right.
Yes, he is.
I trust.
This is
Just go back and watch Go back and watch Russell Westbrook's MVP season and just look at every.
I'm good.
No, he made some clutch. He was clutch that year. I agree.
Every moment for OKC they needed him. He was there.
As much as
Every
people want to think that Max Kellerman is crazy, it's a reason he said he'll take Iguodala taking the last shot
No,
instead.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
He ain't say it for no
We're
reason.
hitting open jump shots. Come on, man. Stop it, man.
Bro,
Tell me a time you've seen Steph hit an open jump shot in a clutch moment.
Steph had the chance to get an open shot and he couldn't move Kevin Love. So what are we doing? It's not our fault he couldn't get an open shot. It's not our fault.
Hold on. If you want to talk about
he couldn't get an open shot.
If you want to talk about Steph being clutch 2016 in the fourth quarter, that's an example. Yes, I'll give you that. That's
Iggy gets an open shot. Steph had a chance to get an open shot and couldn't move Kevin Love, who's a notoriously bad defender.
I mean, his knee was injured though, no? Wasn't his knee?
Oh, so now it's injuries. Now
That's what I'm asking. That's what he said to me.
Was it injuries in 2015 when he went 5 for 23? Was it injuries in 2015 when he went 5 for 23?
No, absolutely not.
If you're down 20, you can count on Steph to bring you back. But when it's time to make that shot, he's not going to do it. If you
in 2018 Game 3 when Steph was 3 of 17 and KD had to save him by hitting that 3 in LeBron's face.
No, he's been.
No, he did save him that game. He did save him.
That's what Steph does. He doesn't show up when we need him.
No,
so why do you rank Steph so down?
If you're up 7, you can count on him to make it 20. If you're down 20, you can count on him to bring it to 7. But in between there, Steph ain't making nothing.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. So Steph is a front runner. Wow. Yes, that's a fact.
He's a front runner.
He is 100%. Absolutely a front runner.
But be real, we haven't seen
so annoying watching him do that shit.
What'd you say? We haven't seen Steph in real adversity.
Steph Curry go.
Steph faced adversity and missed the playoffs. What are we doing? The one, no Klay Thompson, he missed the playoffs.
I mean, like,
Mars
is
You on your shit today, Mars.
That team was terrible.
Oh, so Russell Westbrook can have a terrible team, wins an MVP, makes the playoffs. Steph Curry has a terrible team, and it's okay that he loses to a sophomore Ja Morant and an injured Lakers team, but it's just fine.
Oh, now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. Sophomore Ja Morant and an injured Lakers team. Talk about it. Let's talk about
That's who he lost to. That's who he lost to.
You want to know why I think that though? You want to? I honestly think the reason why is because Russell's style of play fits a more like, hey, go out there and carry. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to knock them.
So Steph's a system player. That's what.
Yes, no, he is. That's not bad.
That's 25.
He's a system player.
That's not bad though. But that's
saved him.
There's no way Mars is being.
That's not bad.
Under Mark Jackson, no one was having Steph Curry best point guard of all time discussions. He gets a system with Steve Kerr, and now all of a sudden he's the best thing since sliced bread.
What is going on?
Coincidental.
No.
How many years was he healthy under Mark Jackson though?
2013 and 2014.
2 years.
Okay, and no one was looking at him as
Steve Kerr. He's been healthy every year, like you know.
No, the only time people thought Steph Curry was better than Russell Westbrook was when he got Steve Kerr.
Yeah, no, that's facts. No, that's facts. Because not even in 2015 they were saying They were saying in 2015.
Exactly.
We're cooking right now. We gotta cut this up. It's gotta go on TikTok or something. You gotta cut this up.
Yeah,
this segment. Steph Curry slander. I love it. I love it.
It's not slander if it's true. It's not slander if it's true.
I love it. I love it.
I didn't say it's outlandish.
He has his most efficient seasons. He has his best seasons.
When
who comes in? Steve fucking Kerr. Let's be real.
Not bad.
He won two rings with Katie. Now everyone pretends.
Y'all realize
Listen.
like volume and percentage.
I'm just being nasty.
Like it's not everybody.
What happened?
What you say?
Lagging in and
Can y'all
out.
hear me?
Not clearly. No.
Not really.
Not really. Let me see.
Oh man.
Oh
Man down. Man down.
No.
I said, "Oh man, yo,
Can y'all hear me?
yo, come on."
Yeah.
Okay. And he was shooting threes at a historic clip, like volume and percentage that 2016 year. Not like anybody could do that.
With who? With
Anybody-
who as the coach?
And I made the Dame argument.
Steve Kerr's the greatest coach ever.
Dame is stop.
What happened in the playoffs in 2016?
I don't like Dame.
What happened in the playoffs?
Those threes at historic clip. The clip must have run out. Must have run empty.
No, but
They
that's.
give
But I'm not.
break
But
the
I'm not.
Is that what you said?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a regular season clip. That's what it is. Regular season clip.
But no, listen. No, I think.
I'm not gonna act like the playoffs not different than the regular season.
No, it is. It is. It
But
is.
they did this.
The thing about. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just gotta say we hit our 2-hour mark, man. So this last topic was amazing, bro. Appreciate it though.
Yeah, man,
Definitely
Mark.
gonna have y'all
That's
on
fire.
next week.
That's Steph Curry. Fire.
That was a great way to end the show. Mars, I didn't think you had it in you, bro. I love it. I love it, man.
All right.
Front runner. Oh, that's beautiful.
Before I bounce, Mars, you mad
Usually way too much.
for
Mark.
saying being ambidextrous at ball handling is athleticism. That's not athleticism at all. That's a skill. That's something you can develop.
Being ambidextrous is not athleticism.
I never said ambidextrous. I said ambidextrous in terms of finishing at the rim, being able to use both hands. That's why I said.
No, you said.
Oh, you talking about position your body? That's what you said.
I said being ambidextrous and being able to use, because I use Zion Williamson as the example. He can't finish with his right hand, but he can finish with his left. Kyrie Irving can finish equally with both hands. That's what I said. And I said I consider being able to use all your limbs in unison to be a part of athleticism.
Luka's not athletic.
The Luka argument was completely different. That was about change of pace, deceleration, strength,
But even that, Mars,
balance, all of
the
those
only
things.
reason why.
We can't do this right now. We can't do this right now. Listen, guys, appreciate y'all for coming through. Any last words before we go?
Yeah, PJ Tucker not athletic.
I think.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
You said he's not athletic?
Come back next week, bro. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Yes, sir.
Steph
Y'all
Curry's
be
a front
easy,
runner.
man.
Y'all be easy.
I got.
Y'all be easy. Y'all be easy.
Hey, after tonight, the Lakers will be better than the Warriors. That's great.
Yeah, facts.